Now it's Svaric taking the shot, scores!
What a move! What a goal! How about that?
Handles his way to the net, scores! Oh my goodness!
Puck drop is just minutes away. Oh, what's up, everyone? This is NOJHL Game Day. I'm Alex Bastiavansky. Some big matchups are on tap tonight, and we are going to get you all set up before sending you off to the rink in just a few minutes. Let's go.
2-on-1 potential here. He's got a man going to the net. Ennis, goal, beautiful goal there.
The Sioux Thunderbirds were in Timmins for a battle of the last two undefeated teams in the league. This game had everything, including this spectacular solo effort from the Rock's Lucas Lowe that cut his team's deficit to a single goal. But the T-Birds, too much on this night. Brian Fenlon had 2 goals, and the Sioux held on for a 4-1 win on the road. The Sioux Eagles were in Sudbury to face the Cubs, and Mason Walker continued to make his case for the Rookie of the Year award.
In on this pass, Sudbury gets it right back to the middle. Partial breakaway potentially. Mason Walker drops off. McCartney scores! Cannot pot it in. And now here's a chance. Mason Walker off the bench. Beautiful move, backhand scores! What a move and what a goal, Mason Walker.
Man, Walker has been good. The Sioux added a late tally in the third to pull within 1, but that's as close as they got. Greater Sudbury held on to edge the Birds 2-1. Iroquois Falls traveled to Kirkland Lake. The Miners were looking for their first win. They came oh so close. Jordan Fittker gave them the advantage in the first frame. Late in the third, though, Andre Cho breaks the hearts of Miners fans with the equalizer, sending this one off to OT.
Chathui with the puck. He has it. He's slowing it up. He brings it back to Choi. Cho brings it, and he tips it in, and it's in the net. Goal, Iroquois Falls Storm. They win it in overtime, 2-1.
Blind River faced Espanola in the evening's craziest matchup. Clark Furman draws first blood for the Beavers, just $1.14 in. The Beavers were ahead by 2 late until Braden Guthrie once again puts the Kings on his back and spurs the comeback. Another 5-point night for Braden, including a hat trick. They were looking for the tying goal late.
You can hear the roar in the arena here. Face-off, players falling all over the place. Back to the blue line, Pethick hands it off to his defensive partner, gets it back. Here comes the shot, through traffic, and a goal! Blasted through the entire team.
Espanola lost 11-1 to Sudbury the night before. Raise your hand if you thought they would tie Blind River the next day. Okay, put your hand down. I don't believe you. 4 games on tap tonight. Elliott Lake facing the Gold Miners. French River and Powassan. Blind River in Sioux, south of the border, to face the Eagles, and the T-Birds take on Iroquois Falls. Let's start with Blind River heading south of the border. The Beavers 3-1-1 this season, but now have just 1 win in their last 3 contests after that crazy tie in Espanola last night. The Eagles have 1 win in 3 games so far, but have shown just how competitive they can be, going toe-to-toe with Sudbury last night and falling by just a single goal. Elliott Lake is in Kirkland Lake in a battle of winless squads. Something's got to give. The Vikings are getting close to finally being able to return to their home rink. They're 0-3, but are a physical and gritty bunch that are a tough out every time. The Miners, as mentioned, also winless thus far. They did pick up their first point with that OT loss to Iroquois Falls last night. This should be a fun one to watch. French River heads to Powassan to face the Voodoos. The Rapids have only played twice this season and have yet to win, but they came back from 2 3-goal deficits against Espanola last week to force overtime. So they've shown they've got some grit as well. Do not take them lightly. The Voodoos will play at home for the first time in 2 weeks and are looking to kickstart their season. Lots of talent there, but they've got just a single win in 4 games so far. Finally, we've got the T-Birds in Iroquois Falls to tangle with the Storm. The Blue and Orange are officially the heavyweight champs of the league at the moment after knocking off Timmins at home last night. The only blemish on their record so far is a tie against Sudbury opening night. Otherwise, they have been perfect. As for the Storm, they've had a fantastic start to their campaign with just a single loss so far, and they picked up that dramatic OT win in Kirkland Lake last night. A reminder, the NOJHL Showcase is rapidly approaching, taking place at the Countryside Sports Complex in Sudbury next week. The 2-day event will feature all 12 teams taking part, with the results of each contest counting towards the overall league standings. Just as important, it provides massive exposure for the players, as the scouts will be out in force to take in all the games in one central location. Primetime player for last night, lots of great performances, but we got to reward Noah Metivier. What a job he did against a potent Timmins offense. He goes into the Lions den and stops 34 of 35 shots to lead his squad to the 4-1 victory. And your play of the day brought to you, of course, by our friends at BrokerLink Auto, Home, and Business Insurance. BrokerLink, life can be confusing. Your insurance shouldn't be. We are giving it to Lucas Lowe for his spectacular solo effort against the T-Birds.
Thunderbirds were offside. Now Lowe. Lowe trying to streak in. Lucas Lowe coming to the net. Scores! Lucas Lowe! Buries it on a nice burst. In off the wing, and that sends the McIntyre Arena into a frenzy. They've been waiting for that.
Yeah, and just remember, of course, that to stay up to date on everything that's going on in the NOJHL, you can head to the league's official social media outlets. Thanks so much for watching. Now it's off to the rink for puck drop. Enjoy the game.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items, or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
The Goalie Resiliency Podcast, hosted by Chris Dawson and Dr. Rob Graham. With player interviews new and old, goalie insights, and everything you need to know about being a netminder, this is the podcast to check out. You can subscribe at youtube.com/goalie resiliency or instagram.com/goalie_resiliency.
Better than Saturday night in P-Town? That's what former assistant coach of the Voodoos, Josh Dale, always got to say. Congratulations to Mr. Josh Dale on picking up his first win as head coach of the U18 North Bay Trappers yesterday as they went up to New Liskeard to take on the Cubs. I'm Courtney Kenny, pleased to be joined by Ben Sargent. And it feels like it's been a while since we've had a Voodoos game at the Powassan Sportsplex. It's because it has. It's been almost 2 weeks since the Voodoos have called the Sportsplex home. Instead, they went up north and had not really a good road trip up north, Ben.
No, they had some bus troubles that found themselves, I believe GM Chris Dawson was telling us it was something like 12 hours they were stuck on the highway.
Yep.
And they were not able to get the game in, and so they ended up having to come back, which is unfortunate because you know that the players probably their least liked road trip going up, but they like doing it all at once, so now they're going to have to travel another 4 hours at some point to be able to play Hearst again.
Well, I've got to ask, because a lot of the guys on the team, like Caleb Dawson, Justin Russo, Anthony Boyes, Caden Cowell, were on that U18 Trappers team when the bus caught on fire a couple of years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So, and that was also on the North Highway. So what's worse, being stuck on the highway for 12 hours or having your bus catch on fire on the North Highway?
Probably the bus on fire.
I would have to say so. They lost all their equipment in that. The Voodoos are set to take on the French River Rapids, and as you mentioned, that game was supposed to be against Hearst on Saturday night, but due to the highway closure, the game will have to be rescheduled. They ended up going 0-2 on that road trip, and they're currently 1-3 in the season. They lost 6-4 Friday night to Timmins and fell 2-1 against Iroquois Falls Storm on Sunday. So again, not the weekend that they wanted, and not the start that they wanted, which prompted a move that we're going to see dividends for, but we'll talk about that here in a moment after we talk about our starting lineups here, proudly brought to you by
Tonight's starting lineups are brought to you by The Clubhouse by Gateway Golf. Located on Oak Street East in North Bay, Ontario, with over 200 plus real-time courses, simulator arcade games, and delicious eats, The Clubhouse is North Bay's newest social hangout.
That's right. The starting lineup brought to you by our friends at Gateway Clubhouse in North Bay. So starting with Jackson Smith, the captain, will get his first home game under his belts too, as he was serving a suspension after getting suspended in a game, surprise, surprise, against French River in the preseason. And Mason Rotundo on the other side, we'll look at Nolan Mason, Daniel Grishnichev, and Dominic Bizdil, along with Sergei Sashenko and Ralph Kulis. But in net, it's where it becomes very interesting for the Voodoos. They've acquired a new goaltender, Austin Seibel. He's making his debut tonight for the Voodoos. He had solid numbers last season with the Dauphin Kings of the Manitoba Junior A Hockey League, where he scored 2.16 goals against average last year in 15 games. Really solid stats for the goaltender. We'll have to see how he adapts here to the NOJHL, Ben. Yeah,
it's very interesting because when we talked about, we both called the opening game against the Timmins Rock, and one of the big question marks was they were coming in with Tyson Wilcox and Miles Gordon, and both of those players weren't seasoned goaltenders. They didn't have the experience that Peter Goulet is used to having in the last couple of years in net, and so he decides to make a move just to get a little bit more help in the back end there. We're gonna have to see how Seibel does. It's gonna be very exciting. It's gonna be a big stage for him here, but he is playing against a team that traditionally the Voodoos have been very good against. Over the last 5 seasons, 29 victories for the Voodoos. They're 29-4-0-1. So this is something where the Voodoos have heavily, dominated in the last little bit. And, French River is kind of in an interesting spot where they've had a very tough start, losing 9-1 against the Rock, but almost came away with a just falling in overtime 7-6 to the Paper Kings. So not a terrible start to their year, but they've only played 2 games. They want to get going. And we talked about the new format with the standings this year. It's not going to be an automatic playoff for the Voodoos like it has been in past years. Every point's going to be important. And after a bit of a tough start for the Voodoos, when they lose 5-1 to the Rock, they've faced the Rock twice and lost to them twice. They've lost to the Storm. They only have 1 win on this season. This is going to be a big game to get them back on the right track. Yeah, this is definitely a game I think that the Voodoos are looking at as a remedy. And as you said, the Rapids are definitely looking to get started too. For the Voodoos, out is Nathan Pelche with an upper body injury, and Sam Rive as well is out with the flu. Nathan Pelche was a big addition in the preseason for them, as they were 2-0 in preseason action against the Rapids, in which they defeated the Rapids 4-3 due to a late shorthanded tally by Nathan Pelche in Noelville. So. And he's looked good in the few games that we've seen him play so far for Powassan. Yeah, 4 points so far in the 4 games, a goal, 3 assists. Caden Cowell right now leading the team too with 5 points. One of the people I do kind of want to put a bit of a highlight on would be Ryan McCoy, who's gotten 3 goals so far this year. He's going to be a big part of this Voodoos team. Again, huge turnover from last year when there's not a lot of names that we're used to, and the names that are familiar that are on the sheet were players who were kind of getting 4th-line minutes or 3rd defensive pairings. So getting guys like Ryan McCoy, who coming in for their first year, Pelche, Cowell, these guys coming in and making a splash is huge. Yeah, like as you mentioned, some returners that we can look at: Justin Russo, Caden Dubroy, Caleb Dawson, Jackson Smith. It's not as many. Reed DeBox played some games here last year thanks to being an affiliate player. Mason Rotundo, Miles Gordon, Tyson Wilcox also returners as well. The other game that in the preseason the Voodoos edged the Rapids 4-3 in overtime here, courtesy of a Jeremy Schunborn overtime winner. But anyways, no, that was good to see in the preseason, and we'll have to see if the Voodoos can continue their winning ways. As mentioned, we're gonna have to watch out for Michael Christopoulos though. In 2 games, he has 3 goals for the Rapids. Well, Sergei Sashenko on the back end has 3 assists in 2 games as well. Those are some pretty good numbers for a team that, again, in 2 games have lost the first 2 games, but that was quite a barn burner in French River against the Paper Kings. This is also French River's first road game of the year, too. Yeah, and the thing with French River is they're in a spot where they really are trying to get their program to be at the same level and of consistency as we've seen the Voodoos, we've seen Hearst, we've seen Timmins, at least in the East. It's going to be really, really tough now for those teams that really kind of struggled in prior years in the Eastern Conference to make the playoffs, where they were kind of fighting for that 4th spot because there was a huge division between the top 3 and the bottom 3. it's going to be very hard for them to try and get into the playoffs with this new format. But they're trying to build a program here, and they've got some great names. It's just, can they get consistency when they're going up against some of these big giants, and can they help recruit and get some of these big names into their program as well?
Well, they have a couple of North Bay connections as well. The Rapids are led up front by a pair of former North Bay AAA trappers, and Alexandre Dubuc and Nolan Mason. Dubuc is a Sturgeon Falls native, while Mason is from Callander, and both are former teammates of assistant captain on the Voodoos, Justin Russo.
Yeah, and this is a big game for some of these guys too. Like, these teams play each other. They've played them over 30 times in the last 5 years. Like, they've played each other a lot, and there's going to be a little bit of an extra pep in the step of those people who have a little bit more of those ties here to the area. We'll see if they come out firing.
Well, before we get to that point, the referees are talking already with the French River bench. Usually this is the point in time where we get our national anthems, but something's going on here between the two benches, with the Rapids and the referees, but now the referees are conferring at the penalty box. But we'll be back on the other side of the American and Canadian national anthem. All right, we're almost set for opening puck drop here at the Powassan Sportsplex. Courtney Kenny once again joined by Ben Sargent here as we get set for the Powassan Voodoos versus the French River Rapids. Should be a fun one here in Powassan. Also the first time that we'll get to see captain of your Voodoos, Jackson Smith, in the lineup. And coming up tomorrow, we'll be dropping our podcast with our first group of players from the Voodoos this year. It will feature Jackson Smith, and it will also feature Mason Rotundo for this week's episode of the Frontline podcast. There won't be an episode coming up this week, though, as we'll be at the NOJHL Showcase covering that. So that's going to take up a lot of time and effort, but it was good to get in the head of Jackson Smith and Mason Rotundo. Ask them about the heartbreak that ended last season and being named captain, and what both are looking forward to this year. And very insightful knowledge from two young men.
And it's a big one, too, with Smith coming in halfway through the year, right around that trade deadline. Made a huge mark on this team when he was here coming out of Alberta.
Big enough mark that he was named captain in August as we're underway here. The Rapids and the Road Whites are going left to right to start this one, and the Voodoos in their home greens are going right to left as the play is behind Seibel's net right now. Comes back to Shashenko. Shashenko with the shot, and that'll be the first save for Austin Seibel here in Powassan, as he's going to cover up only 18 seconds into the game.
Well, one of the things that when we did the opening game against the Rock was we were looking at the east to west movement for Tyson Wilcox. That's something that I'm looking at for Seibel early on. Is how is he going to be tracking the puck? Good start right away, though.
Another chance off the face-off. Hits a body as that was Bisdell with a good chance there, but the puck hit a body and went out of play. And the Rapids, through the first 20 seconds, have shown up to play.
Yeah, and this might be a good game to kind of slide Seibel in and get him just used to the game a little bit against a team that is not normally as high scoring, though they did end up scoring 6 in their last outing.
Schunborn tried to get the puck down the ice, but now Koulis gets to it, and he dumps it in deep into Voodoos territory. DeBox with it behind his net. Sends it up the ice. McKillop got to it to Schunborn, and now there's a player down on the ice after the play. And that'll be a big hit there on DeBox as he's being shown the gate, and the Rapids player still yet to get up. That's not something you want to see this early, as now both the Rapids trainer and the Voodoos trainer out on the ice. Actually, all 3 medical personnel here for both teams out on the ice quickly, as that player has yet to move since the hit.
Yeah, that's just going to be medical precautions, of course, whenever somebody looks like it might be any sort of spinal injury.
Well, DeBox is out. He's standing over in the corner right now. We'll have to see what the call is, but it's going to be a 5-minute major already on the board, so the Voodoos are going to be on the penalty kill when we get back to action. And this was kind of the tale of how things went between these two teams during the preseason. I've seen the most 5-minute major penalties. There was about 4 of them maybe in that game, where both teams just kept getting 5-minute power plays. And our thoughts right now are with the player that's on the ice, and he's still slowly moving. He is sitting up now, though, but they have a pack on his head as they've also tried to help not move his head at all.
Well, Peter Goulet is off the Voodoos bench. There's some conversation going between the referee and the Voodoos bench right now, maybe trying to figure it out. How they're going to do it again with that 5-minute major. It'll be interesting to see if this is going to be like a check from behind or hit from the head. We see
it looks like the players are going to go off right now. So as he's barely able to stand up, that's Bisdell. Has both benches clapping him right now. Our thoughts with him right now, hopefully it's nothing too scary. It looked like the players are going to go to the bench because I think everyone thought this might need an ambulance or something, was what I thought it was going to happen, but he's still moving across the ice. His head might be bleeding. I'm not sure. They do have a towel on it, keeping pressure on it.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a big, if you're French River, you don't want to, we'll just have to see if tempers are going to flare at this point too, because obviously if you're a French River,
the Rapids bench has cleared.
Obviously 40 seconds into the game as well, not what you want to see outside of obviously just the personal aspect of it, but it's going to be this is going to be a really pivotal point too for both teams, I think, early on in this game.
The Rapids coaching staff has left too from their bench.
Obviously, the main focus now is on the health and well-being of the player who went off.
Voodoos bench still there. The back door is open. Yeah, there's blood on the ice that they're having to scrape up now. So the back of his head was bleeding for sure, where they had the towel. I missed who it was. I think it was Bisdell down on the ice, and again, our thoughts are going to be with him here. That's a scary incident. Anything to the head is scary.
Yeah, we didn't get a good look at it from our angle just because of the way the boards are, but you could definitely hear it from.
Well, it was hard into the boards for sure. The Rapids bench still there. Side note, we talked about the starting goaltender for the Voodoos being Austin Seibel. Nicholas Tarantella is a starting goaltender for the Rapids. He's yet to appear in a game this season. He's listed as number 1 on my sheet, but he's wearing 31 on the ice. As they're still trying to scrape up the ice here. It's on the near side half wall.
So just going based just going based off the game center right now, it looks like DeBox is got a match penalty, head contact. It also shows Joey Styles getting a misconduct for unsportsmanlike conduct. Not too sure how up to date this is, but
well, Mike over there, the public address announcer, also does the online scoring, so I would imagine it's as up to date as he can have it. There is a Rapids player in the box. And right now it looks like Anthony Boyes is set to serve that 5-minute penalty for the Voodoos.
Yeah, so a good chance that DeBox is no longer in this game.
So that'll move the Voodoos down to 5 defensemen, which equals the total on the ice for the Rapids. The Rapids started with Shashenko, Koulis, Hay, Haslam, and Gifford. Well, the Voodoos had Smith, Rotundo, McKillop, DeBox, Coleman, and DeCallaway. Sorry about that. Just having a little chat there with the owner of the Voodoos. Still trying to figure out what's going on here as the two teams are still on the ice, but again, the Rapids coaching staff not anywhere on the bench.
Yeah, and a bunch of players also in the dressing room as well. We did see a couple of Voodoo players leave, but I believe they came back out.
They were getting ready to go. Because I think that they were going to call, it looked to me like they were getting ready to make a call for an ambulance or something. Braden Haas now back over towards the Voodoos bench. He's one of the trainers. Peter Goulet, the only coach on the bench right now. No, Vitaly Yachmanov still over there.
Again, only 40 seconds gone in this game. And it looks like the Voodoos will be down a man for 5 minutes.
We'll have to see how this affects the Rapids too, like losing a player like Bizdils, who's a point-a-game player so far in the 2 games. And he was one of the better players for them last year too.
And it looks like the Rapids players coming back on the ice. Again, the question is just going to be, are we going to see some rough retaliation, or is this going to shape the way that this game is going to go from a physical aspect from here on out? It'll be something to keep an eye on. It'll be very interesting if you're a referee right now. That's going to be a big thing is how do you police this game so it doesn't get out of hand if it goes that route?
Well, we'll hopefully be able to tell you more about what's going on the other side of this. So we'll just take a quick break, and we'll be back hopefully with some more Voodoos hockey on the other side.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items, or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
The Goalie Resiliency Podcast, hosted by Chris Dawson and Dr. Rob Graham. With player interviews new and old, goalie insights, and everything you need to know about being a netminder, this is the podcast to check out. You can subscribe at youtube.com/goalie-resiliency or instagram.com/goalie_resiliency.
And we welcome you back inside the Powassan Sportsplex as we get set now for the power play for the French River Rapids, as Dubuc is out there along with Grushachev. Again, 5 minutes up on the board against the Voodoos. So it was a scary incident moments before. And now here we go, underway. Rapids with the power play, back to Mason. Mason with the shot, and the big save there by Seibel.
Well, Seibel is going to be thrown in the fire here early on, as you know that he's going to be facing a lot of shots already, 2 in the first 50 seconds for the Rapids, but he's going to be able to get tested here. But so far his positioning looks pretty solid here early on, plus obviously a bit of a break that he's had to get back kind of into the zone. We'll see how that affects him.
What a trial by fire, literally, as Jackson Smith gets the puck and sends that down the ice. So that'll kill some time on the penalty against the Voodoos as the Rapids take the puck from their own zone. Cross ice, Grushachev with it. Walks in on the half wall. He's got hits, rather tripped up there on the half wall. Now Caleb Dawson gets the puck and sends it back down the ice. Back in through the neutral zone. We'll get a stoppage here as now the Rapids send it right back in. And that looks like it's for too many men on the ice call against, I believe, the Rapids.
That's not a good penalty to take.
That's not a good penalty to take anytime.
Anytime, but especially right now when, again, you're a team who has had a bit of a rough start to start the season off. And then on top of that, you're on a 5-minute major. Now half of that's going to be taken off the clock. By the time that we go back to 5-on-4, it'll be 2 minutes left.
Yeah, with 4:12 left here. Another shot. You're going to kill 2 minutes off of that. And down the ice, the Voodoos have it. DeCallaway with the puck in his own zone, near side to Coleman, back to DeCallaway. DeCallaway on the far side. He turns on the Jets and gets past his man Mason. As he walks in, takes a shot. That one hits a body and goes wide. Now the puck back down into Rapids territory. Battling on the near side, French River with it in their own zone. Rapids, Mason with it. Has the puck near side. As he gets stripped of it. Good play there by the Voodoos. Walking in, he scores! What a goal there for Gunner. It's his first of the season and first in the NOJHL.
Well, we just talked about how, you take a bad penalty in this case, too many men, very undisciplined, and now you go from having a 5-minute power play, half of that gets taken, and then the next thing you know, you give up it's a bad giveaway in the neutral zone, and now all of a sudden the tides turn. The Voodoos with a big goal early on. That's going to take a lot of pressure off of their penalty kill.
We're also being told as well that it's Lucas Gunner's birthday today as well.
Oh, look at that.
Happy birthday, Lucas. What a good birthday present for himself. Near side now to Callaway. There's just birthdays everywhere. It's Mike Brown's birthday every game. It was your birthday yesterday, Ben.
It was, yep.
There's a puck out front again. Another chance. Turned aside by Tarantella. And then the puck comes loose. Another chance from the point. To Callaway now with it. Callaway throws it towards the net. That one's turned aside by Tarantella as well, as now the Voodoos offense coming alive here as they're still on 4-on-4 for under a minute.
Yeah, again, bad giveaways by the Rapids. That's going to be something that we're going to have to think about. But it's going to have to be a much more disciplined play as they try to break out of their own zone.
Misa in for the draw. There's a face-off violation against the Rapids, one of them. Puck won by the Rapids.
Voodoos goal, his first of the season, scored by number 27.
Now the Rapids out of their own zone with some speed. Haslam sends the puck in, it goes around. Near side, Christopoulos gets to it. Christopoulos battling on the wall. He's knocked off the puck, Gunner gets to it. We're still 4-on-4 hockey here, but it's back to Hay at the point. Hay with the shot, Seibel, big chance! And the Rapids score on the rebound. As Seibel made the first save and the puck was just left there in the blue paint. It's 1-1.
Well, second chance opportunities there. One that Seibel can't quite contain, and he also doesn't get any help from his defense either. Again, we talked about getting thrown right into the fire, and bit of a tough start if you're Seibel. You just got to shake it off, and there's still a lot of hockey left to play in this, not just in this period, but also going into this power play.
Alexander Dubuc with his first of the season. Gets the Rapids on the board, and we're all knotted up. Still 4-on-4 hockey for a little bit, but the Voodoos have moved back to their penalty kill formation as they put Russo out there. Smith with it. Near side to McKillop. McKillop goes far side for Russo. It's just off his skates and goes down the ice and out of his reach. And now the Rapids into Voodoos territory with McKillop. We're back onto the power play for 2:15 now for the Rapids. Smith got to it, tried to get it out. He does, but it's out front. And the puck just goes wide of Seibel's net. Now into the corner. Jackson Smith with it. Sends it around the boards. Coolest to it. Battling for it now. The Rapids have it in the slot shot. And there's another goal in the back of the net for the Rapids. Over Seibel's glove hand. And that'll make it 2-1 here as Hunter Villanez with his first of the season.
Well, very strange start to this game. Obviously, we have this big injury scare early on. Ends up being a match penalty for Reed DeBox, 5-minute power play. Then there is there's a too many men penalty against the Rapids. The Voodoos score, and then back-to-back goals from French River. It has been productive, but again, it's a lot of sloppiness from both sides, and the defense has been something that has not helped out either team so far.
Well, we're just under 4 minutes into the period, and we've already seen 3 goals. Now Grushev gets his way into the Voodoos zone. There's still 1:40 left on the power play, but the Voodoos get the puck down the ice. Haslam gets to it, Mason with it. Now it's a nifty pass there by Dawson, and they call that offside on Caden Dubroy.
Yeah, of course, with it being a match, 5-minute major, it won't go down until the 5 minutes are up. So we're going to be stuck. The Voodoos will be stuck on the penalty kill for the next minute and a half. But we've seen some good play from the offensive side. But again, French River giving up a really good opportunity there. Unfortunately, Dubroy just offside.
Dawson with a good play there to get the puck down deep into Rapids territory. Haslam with it now, walks in. Sharp angle chance, Seibel with the save. As there was just a little bit of an opening there, and Haslam tried to bury it, but Seibel made the save on that one.
Again, if you're Seibel, 2 goals here early on, not exactly what you want. Miles Gordon, of course, the backup for the Voodoos here today. And if you're Seibel, all you want is just to be able to keep it here at 2 goals for the rest of this period and get back on track.
Mason with the puck now at the point. Goes cross ice. Grushev with the puck. Takes a shot from the point, and Seibel gets that one in the chest. Makes sure there's no rebound and gets the save.
Yeah, and it looks like so far, if you're French River, you really have to be focusing on rebounds and, again, lateral movements side to side. But the rebounds are going to be the big thing. Trying to keep the puck low, getting bounces off the pads, and then trying to get Seibel down on the ground so you're able to try to lift the puck over him on a rebound is going to be the way to go.
Mason took the shot. He fanned on it, but he's able to hold on to it. Now Dawson has a bit of a jump here. Dawson walks in, takes the shot. Stopped there by Tarantella. 40 seconds here left on the man advantage, and the Voodoos just send the puck right back down the ice. Tarantella plays the puck. Leaves it for his man. That's Koulis with the puck. Now he gets it off to Shushenko. Cross ice. Walking in. Good chance there, but the Voodoos knocked that one aside. Shushenko with the puck in his own zone. Gets it up to Grushev. Grushev nearly lost it to the Deniz. Now Jansa with it. 10 seconds left on the man advantage. As the puck goes cross ice. And another chance there. Stopped by Seibel. Secondary chance saved by the goaltender. Through the first bit of this period now, as the Voodoos kill off the remainder of that penalty, it's 9-5 in favor of the Rapids shot-wise, and now we'll get another stoppage here. And I missed the call, to be honest with you.
It looks like it's going to be
It looks like another penalty to the Rapids.
I believe the sign there was roughing, but either way, we've barely played 5-on-5 so far in the opening of this period, but
about 40 seconds worth.
After that 5-minute major, I guess you could say it was pretty good for the Rapids. They ended up getting 2 past Seibel early on, but they also did give up 1 on 4-on-4. Here's a chance, though, for the Voodoos to tie things up here, and we're going to get a good chance to look at their man advantage early on.
Voodoos to the power play. Misa with the puck goes into the center of the ice and just trying to get it on net. Can't quite get a shot away. Another chance. And that one was blocked in front from the slot as the Voodoos have to regroup here now as Seibel plays the puck behind his net. Leaves it for Rotundo. Rotundo with some speed out of his own zone. Mason Rotundo spins, gets it to his man. Shot missed the net, and it goes out of play, so we'll get a stoppage here on the power play with the Voodoos.
Well, the Voodoos a very early, great opportunity right off that face-off. One thing that French River needs to do a much better job of is in the slot. There was way too much room for the Voodoos to be able to move around. if you're Powassan, you want to be able to exploit that a little bit. Try and get pucks in that slot area as much as you can.
Smith goes cross ice. Dawson gets to it, takes the shot. That one's blocked. Gets the backhand over to Cowell. Cowell with the chance, and that one sails wide and out of play.
Yeah, again, moving the puck around the outside of outside of the zone. They need to get it more into that center, take advantage of some of those wingers. And we've seen them do that a lot where they've cycled their defense. We saw this a lot last year. They cycled their defensemen down into the corner, and they've kind of rotated their wingers around. Curious if they're going to keep doing this with a bit of you see Cowell and Smith both out there on the blue line.
Well, the face-off won by the Rapids. They can't get the puck out of the zone, though, and they finally do. And now the puck's down for Seibel to play. Seibel, good pass up for Cowell. Cowell gets it up for Dawson. Dawson now skates the puck in. Stops up, takes the shot. That one hits a leg and goes out of play. This power play, minus Jackson Smith, is kind of like the Great North U18 League All-Stars from a couple of seasons ago. You know, you got Dawson and Justin Russo and Caden Cowell from the U18 Trappers. And then you got Caden Dubroy out there from the U18 Sudbury Nickel Cap. So now another chance here. Still on the power play. Just over a minute on the power play. They've had no shots so far, but a couple of good chances. Rotundo, cross ice, good chance there. Gunner sails that one wide. Misa back to the middle of the ice to Rotundo. Rotundo with the shot, stopped by the goaltender Tarantella, and that one's turned aside by the netminder. Now Gunner, far side, goes near side to Misa. Misa looking for a lane, gets it back to Rotundo. Rotundo to Gunner. Gunner with the goal so far, gets a shot on net, and the rebound just sat there. And French River's going to be able to send that one down the ice, and it takes a weird bounce out in front of Seibel's net. Now Rotundo with some speed down the ice. Rotundo gains the red line, sends it in, and hops over Tarantella's stick, as now it's in for Russo behind the net. Russo looking for some options, plays it back to the point for Jackson Smith. Smith back for Russo. Russo, his pass picked off, and now a good chance here for the Rapids. Moving in Mason. Walks in, good chance, saved by Seibel! Holy cow! What a big save by Austin Seibel there. Mason with a gorgeous chance, just couldn't bury it past the glove of Seibel. Now going the other way still. Back to 5-on-5, now Russo walks over the line, and that'll be offside here. As what a gorgeous chance from Mason, but he couldn't bury it to get his second of the game.
Yeah, what a nice way of, again, we talked about his movement from east to west. He does a really good job of squaring up the shooter and really moving with him. And obviously at that point, as if you're on the other side, if you're French River, you're trying to get that puck up into the top corner. Seibel does a good job of trying to take away as much of that bottom half of the net as he can.
Puck back down into Rapids territory. Shanko gets to it, but the Voodoos are able to keep it in. Big hit thrown there behind the net. Now the puck flutters up and into the neutral zone for McKillop to send right back down the ice. Now Jansa with it. Got it past Inez. Shushenko right back down the ice. Coleman gets to it. Now Heath Bradley gets to the puck. Battling for it. Sends it right back in. And Tarantella made the save on that one. As now Ellard with the puck. Ellard dumps it in for Gunner. Gunner near side, as Bradley had a chance, but a good stick there by Tarantella negated that chance, as now it's kept in by Misa. Misa tries to walk around his man. He did, but he didn't keep the puck on his stick. And now Rotundo gets the puck in the neutral zone. Rotundo with to Callaway. Callaway gets the red line, dumps that one in, stopped there by Tarantella. As now the puck goes back out of Rapids territory. Near side now, Jansa with it. Jansa tried to leave it for Villeneuve. Villeneuve gets to it. Almost 9.5 minutes gone here in this first period. It's 2-1 Rapids. Now Rotundo picks it up. Rotundo got it to the Callaway. Delayed penalty coming here, as it'll go against the Voodoos, it looks like, as Boyes is the player to touch it. So Powassan will have to kill another penalty here.
That's something that they've been familiar with so far in the first 9.5 minutes of this game. And Both teams have not been the most disciplined today. You can see they're having a bit of a conversation there with the referee as he makes his way. Sorry, my bad. Rotundo makes his way into the box.
Well, the Voodoos will be shorthanded for another 2 minutes or less. Seibel definitely getting his money's worth here. He's already faced 10 shots, and the puck is won by the Voodoos and nearly sprung down the ice. Now Cowell walks in. Cowell on the near side. He tried to take a lane to the net, but he had to turn around. Now it's out front. Russo couldn't get a stick as he was held up. Now it's back for McKillop. McKillop in his own zone now. Throws it near side to Smith. Smith waits, sends the puck down the ice, and Mason gets to it rather. Mason now near side to Haslam. Haslam back to Mason. Mason's been dangerous this game as he tries to walk through 3 Voodoos, but the puck comes back out, and it's a good chance there for the Rapids, but they couldn't get a shot away. Mason to it. Back to the point for Haslam. Haslam. Far side. Takes a shot. That was Grushachev, but it's turned aside by a body and sent down the ice by Jackson Smith. And now Tarantella out to play the puck.
Probably the best we've seen this Voodoos penalty kill. Not just have they been holding some possession, but they also did a really good job of keeping the puck from the net.
Caden Dubroy now knocked his man down and took the puck and sends it right back down into Voodoos territory. Coleman with it. Back to Coleman now in his own zone. He just dumps it down. 40 seconds left on the man advantage for French River. Now French River. Rushachev takes a shot. Seibel with a big glove save there. And that glove has looked great so far.
Yeah, and if you're on the penalty kill, if you're going to give up shots, you want them to be not high-quality shots. That's a perfect example of that. Very easy for Seibel to see, very easy to overall win. But either way, like, just a really solid power play.
He didn't have audio.
Puck back down. Seibel with a big save. There's another glove chance there. (2-1) Rapids lead. 12-7 shots on goal in favor of the Rapids too. Another shot from the point is blocked before it can find Seibel. Now it's Koulis with it. Koulis. Near side, Shashenko. Back for his man. Shashenko tried to walk in, and now the puck right down at Seibel's net. He can't quite get a glove on it though, as the Voodoos are about to kill off the penalty. They do, and we're back to 5-on-5. Now behind the net, Rapids with the puck. Still keeping all the pressure, back to the point. Seibel with a kick save. Another chance. What a big save by the goaltender there.
Yeah, and
that'll bring us to our mid-period break here on the front line. We'll be back with more on the other side of this.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
And we welcome you back inside the Powassan Sportsplex here as the Powassan Voodoos trail the French River Rapids 2-1 through the first half of the first period. I'm Courtney Kenny, pleased to be joined by Ben Sargent and camera operator Mike Brown. Of course, Harrison and Cassie are two lovely social media people down at ice level right now trying to figure things out. Harrison got a new camera to play with, so he's trying to figure that out. It's fun.
Yeah, apparently it's kind of dirty too. Like the lens wasn't dirty. He didn't bring a cleaning cloth.
No, so they had to take the one from my glasses case.
But they figured it out, just like the Voodoos figured out a great penalty kill that we just saw. They did a really good job. They limited the amount of shots, but right at the end of going into that break, Seibel making another really good save. He's looked good laterally. So far, the 2 goals that he's given up, he didn't get the best help from his defense on, as well as maybe giving up a rebound that he wished he could have had back. But overall, Seibel's had a pretty solid start to his Voodoos career.
Cal gets the puck down for Dawson. Dawson walks it, takes the shot, and that one just goes wide of the net. Now on the near side in the corner, battling for possession is Powassan. Cal in there along with Dawson. A couple of Rapids players in there as well, including Haslam and Bartzes. Puck not moving anywhere. It's the most exciting play in hockey. As the puck does finally come out, McKillop throws it towards the net, and now it's behind the net, and the puck just sits there, and the Voodoos couldn't quite convert, but Dawson still has it in Rapids territory, threw it towards the middle of the ice, and that one was picked off by French River. Now another chance here, McKillop gets it over, McKillop with the shot, and that one's stopped there by Tarantella.
Yeah, Tarantella hasn't been as busy as his counterparts. Still 8 shots, though, but he just hasn't seen too many tough things. The Voodoos have had some opportunities, but the Rapids have done a good job of not letting the puck necessarily get to the net, and there have been a lot of loose puck opportunities for the Voodoos, but going in with about 7:21 left, both teams are on kind of the opposite sides. If you're the French River, you really want to get into this break up 2-1, and if you're the Voodoos, you're just looking to tie it before the end of the period.
Puck sent down the ice by the Rapids. Smith is going to get to it in his own zone. Smith, far side, try to get it to DeCallaway. He does. Now it's a 2-on-2 with Boys. DeCallaway sends it back for Misa, though, and now the puck flops over to the near side, and French River picks it back up. Shushenko tries to walk in. Good stick there by Smith, knocked it away from him, and Boys picks it up. Now Boys finds Gunner. Gunner walks in, takes the shot. Tarantella with the save on that, as he got a good blocker on it. Now the puck in the near side corner in Rapids territory. The Rapids do come away with it. Far side. French River Mason out front. Almost got it on Seibel's net, but it was picked up by the Voodoos. Now Boys the other way. Boys flips it in. Rotundo tried to get a piece of it, but the puck was just out of his reach. Shushenko with it again. Walks in, sends it right back around. Seibel tried to get to it, and we'll get a stoppage here. It looks like it was going to be icing, but because Seibel went out to play it, I think they're going to have to do it at center ice.
Yeah, and you got to give a lot of credit, too, to both these teams for not letting their emotions, obviously, of what happened at the beginning of the period, take over. And we haven't seen a lot of rough stuff, a lot of any retaliation or anything like that. So you got to give a lot of credit to the players on the ice to not escalate.
Coleman with the puck up to Bradley. Bradley throws the puck towards Tarantella's net. He's just going to knock it out of play with his stick, and we'll get another stoppage here with 6:03 left in the first period. 2-1 Rapids lead.
Obviously, you talked about the Rapids coming into this game where they had this big barn burner against Espanola 7-6, where they lost in overtime. And we can see kind of some of that offensive output here as well early on in this game. Again, a lot at stake for both of these games. We talked about it at the beginning of the game. The Voodoos are really in desperate need of to get back onto a winning track, especially considering how their road trip went up north and missed out on a game against Hearst.
Dubroy with a shot off the draw, blocked by the Rapids. Coleman gets it to Dawson. Now the puck sent back in, and that one's stopped by Tarantella, and we'll get another stoppage here.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Voodoos maybe doing a little bit more setup in their zone. They've had a lot of opportunities where they've been trying to get stuff going in transition, but we haven't seen them put too much offensive pressure. And again, Tarantella has not had a lot that he's had to deal with today, despite having 9 shots. It's been a pretty quiet game for him.
Well, we'll have to see if the Voodoos are able to get some more pressure going here. As good play there by Cowell, keeps the puck in. He tried to send it out front for Dawson, but the puck now sent back around Rapids territory. Haslam gets to it first. Sends it far side to Mason. Now the puck down the ice. Brushachev gets around his man, and he's going to get in on the far side. Tried to get a sharp angle shot away, and the puck just rolled through Seibel's blue paint. Now the puck back to Rapids territory. Brushachev tried to get the shot away, and that one missed the net. Now another sharp angle attempt to Seibel, turned aside by the side of the net, and Dubroy tries to get the puck out, but he ran into Cowell's skates, and now he does get it to Cowell, who sends it to the near side for McKillop, but it's going to roll in on Tarantella, who just plays the puck calmly behind his net. Now Koulis gets to it as McKillop falls behind him. Now down the ice quickly. Another chance. Good stick or kick save there by Seibel. Now Haslam walking in. Haslam couldn't quite get a shot away, as DeCallaway was all about disrupting that chance. Puck back to the point. Again, McKillop gets it out of harm's way, and Schoenborn sends it down the ice. Stopped up by Russo in enemy territory now. But it's out to Callaway to play it. To Callaway Flips it back in on the far side corner. Hay gets to it. Hay flips it around behind his net. Russo was right there but couldn't quite get a hold of it. Now on the far side is Cal. Owen Cal. Schoenborn with a shot. That one's blocked by the Rapids. And you could hear that one, because that was a heavy shot. Now behind the net, another chance. Tarantella's just going to get on top of it and cover it up. And we'll get another stoppage here with 4:06 left in the first period. 2-1 Rapids lead.
Yeah, overall, I think if you're going to be looking at this period, obviously probably almost half of this period was played not 5-on-5. It's going to be interesting to see how each coach is going to go into that dressing room and try and see it again. I always talk about how second periods are such a pivotal part of the game. It's going to be a big second period as well. I think it's really going to shape how this game goes.
Puck hopped over Rotundo's stick, and Rapids were almost off to the races, but a good play by Jackson Smith to get back. He knocks his man down, and now the puck is back through the neutral zone, but sent right back in for Seibel to play. Seibel to Rotundo. Rotundo gets it up for Boys. Boys tried to go cross ice for Gunner, but the puck was behind him and disrupted by French River. Now big hit thrown by Gunner at the Rapids bench. Oh my goodness. Gunner with a little bit of a shot now at Christopoulos as well, as he skates by. Christopoulos in behind the net, tried to get it out front, but that one's disrupted by Powassan. Gunner picks it up, steals it from his man, sends it out for Boys. Boys now for his man Misa. Misa skates in, takes a shot, and that one trickles in on Tarantella, who's just going to turn that one aside, and we'll get a stoppage in play there, as the Voodoos will get an offensive zone draw.
Well, the way that this period started, you think there'd be maybe more than a 2-1 game so far. This game has really started to settle down here. Again, the chances have been, outside of that one huge save by Seibel at about the 12-minute mark of the period, not a lot's happened for either team.
Puck down the ice. Rapids with it. Now Coleman has it. Coleman sends it over for Bradley. Bradley gets it down the ice for Deniz. Deniz walks in. He had the puck poked off his stick, and now the Rapids going the other way. French River walks in. Villanez takes a shot. Rebound chance was there, but a big save by Seibel turns that one aside. Another chance here as Bradley tried to shovel the puck out front, but the Rapids get to it. Now good play there by Rotundo to step up. The puck did go offside, but he was able to keep it out of Rapids' hands for a moment. Now turned back around. French River to Rotundo. Rotundo gets it to his man. Walks in. Cowell with a shot. And that one's blocked by French River.
Great job from Rotundo there to stay on side as Cowell was a little bit slow getting it into the zone.
French River still with possession in their own zone. Sends the puck down the ice. That's going to roll in just past Seibel's net. So that'll go for icing here with 1:54 left on the clock.
You can see them trying to make some changes there for French River, but since they iced it, they're not able to. And overall, Seibel, how about that? 2 big saves so far, 2 huge saves since it became 2-1, and really starting to become comfortable, I think, in between those nets. Now 16 shots he's faced so far in this first period alone.
He's looked good. He's looked very good for Powassan so far through this first period. Trial by fire right off the hop. And he's settled in nice. Now Dawson with a shot. That one's blocked. As we've seen that play a couple of times off the draw. Dubroy to Dawson. Those two guys, lots of chemistry between them. Always fun to watch. Now a bit of a mix-up at the Voodoos bench.
That's going to be a penalty.
As it looks like the penalty will be going against the Rapids.
Yeah, right in front of the Voodoos bench, there was a bit of a scuffle there. Looks like it's going to be...
Marxis is going to go off, I believe.
Yeah, for slashing.
He's hobbling, though, so... He looks to be in all sorts of discomfort, but he's going to have 2 minutes or less to nurse it. Well, actually, this penalty could take him right to the end of the period.
Obviously still trying to plead his case to the officials.
Cal with the puck. Gets it back to Rotundo, who takes a big hit at the line. Now Gunner with it. Gunner to Schoenborn. Back behind the net. or rather far side. He tried to send the puck to the middle of the ice. He couldn't quite get the pass through, and now he lost possession of it, and the Rapids are going to send it down the ice. Seibel plays it. Minute 10 left in this first period. Voodoos hoping to tie it up here before intermission. And the Rapids just looking to get to intermission with the lead. Now Rotundo with it. Rotundo skates through the neutral zone, gets it up for Misa. Misa on the near side. Goes to the middle of the ice. Good chance there as now they get their wires crossed. That's Cal and Gunner. As Gunner kind of looked at him like, what are you doing? 50 seconds left here in the period. Owen Cal now through the neutral zone. Gains the zone, tried to get a shot away but couldn't, and now the puck down the ice, but Smith picks it up. Smith to Cowell. Cowell to Russo. Russo battling for it. Tries to find it, leaves it for Cowell though. Cowell now goes for a skate. Cowell leaves it for Dawson. Dawson behind the net, tried to throw it out front. It sits in the slot and then batted out of the air as it was tried to be knocked down the ice. As Jackson Smith gets it towards the net. Big chance there, they score! Caden Dubroy on the rebound. Ties this game at 2 with 17.1 seconds left in the first.
Well, one of those things I mentioned back when they last had their power play was getting the puck in the slot and taking advantage of some of that space that's available, and that's exactly what happened. They get a rebound, they crash the net, and then with Tarantello just basically sprawled out on his backside in front of the net. A huge goal there for the Voodoos to bring this up. Again, talked about wanting it to be tied up going into the period, exactly what Peter Goulet wanted.
Power play goal for the Voodoos as the puck is dumped back into Voodoos territory and sent out. Cowell with a nifty little pass. It's a 2-on-1 here. Dubroy and Dawson. Dubroy with a shot, and the rebound chance was just out of Dawson's hands. Oh, that was perfectly placed, that rebound, as that'll come to the end of the first period, as the Voodoos could have had a good chance there to end the period. On the save by Tarantella, the rebound went right to Dawson. And it went, well, I shouldn't say right to him. It was just out of his reach.
Yeah, and I think overall when you look at this, there's a lot to unpack in this period. Obviously, we have that injury right off the bat. DeBox going off for the match penalty. We have a 5-minute major. You get a too many man penalty. It's 2-1 very early for the Rapids. And then finally the Voodoos go off. The interesting thing now going into the second period is we're all knotted up. It's basically the same as the start of the first period. So you just got to reset and try to play your game.
Well, we'll have to see how that second period goes here for the two teams, as we'll take a quick breather here throughout the intermission, and we'll be back with more Powassan Voodoos hockey on the other side of this.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items, or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
The Goalie Resiliency Podcast, hosted by Chris Dawson and Dr. Rob Graham. With player interviews new and old, goalie insights, and everything you need to know about being a netminder, this is the podcast to check out. You can subscribe at youtube.com/goalie-resiliency or instagram.com/goalie_resiliency.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
The Goalie Resiliency Podcast, hosted by Chris Dawson and Dr. Rob Graham. With player interviews new and old, goalie insights, and everything you need to know about being a netminder, this is the podcast to check out. You can subscribe at youtube.com/goalieresiliency or instagram.com/goalie_resiliency.
And we welcome you back inside the Powassan Sportsplex for period number 2 between the Powassan Voodoos and the French River Rapids. And the game's all tied up at 2, of course. I'm Corny Kenny, pleased to be joined by Ben Sargent here, and I'll give you a quick recap of that first period. First off, a big injury scare to Dominic Bisdill in the first period, only 40 seconds in. And goals in that period scored by Lucas Gunner, his first of the season, followed by Alexander Dubuc, who got his first. Hunter Villeneuve with his first as well, and then Caden Dubroy got his third with just 17 seconds left in that first period to tie things back up 2-2. That's your scoring summary. We'll take a look around the NOJHL now as well, as lots of games here. As right now, Elliott Lake leads Kirkland Lake, the Battle of the Lakes, 2-1, starting in the second period. Nothing after 20 minutes of play between the Blind River Beavers and the Sioux Eagles. And the Sioux Thunderbirds currently lead the Iroquois Falls Storm 1-0 with 5 minutes left in the first period there. Ben, what was some of the good and some of the bad of that first period between the Voodoos and the Rapids?
Well, that was probably one of the most eventful first periods I think we've seen in a very long time, both good and bad. We saw obviously a huge injury scare early on, a 5-minute major, a really bad too many men call during that 5-minute major from the Rapids. Early 3 goals between these two teams, but the biggest thing and the biggest bright spot, if you're the Powassan Voodoos, a big goal right at the end to tie things up at 2-2. At this point, when you come out onto the ice, it's back to square one. Nobody's in the lead. We're all tied up. This is going to be a pivotal second period.
Pivotal second period indeed. As you mentioned, you liked watching and how important second periods are in the games. As now we're underway. The Voodoos in their home greens are going right to left this period, and the Rapids in their road whites are going right to left. As now the puck comes to out front of the net, as I had a bit of an issue getting some words out, but Seibel makes a really big save there. Another chance near the side on Tarantella, and he's going to make a big save there.
Well, Seibel with yet another big save here, as that's his third huge one that he's made so far in this hockey game. He's had himself a very eventful game. Of course, both goals, you could argue maybe he'd like them back, but at the end of the day, he's made a couple of big saves.
Huge saves already for Austin Seibel, as he finds himself ready to go here in the second period, a tie game, as we're 40 seconds now into the second period as the puck flops by Tarantella's net. Puck sent back out, though, by the Rapids as they get it down the ice quickly. French River with a good chance, kicked aside by Seibel, and we'll get a stoppage of play here.
Well, one of those things, if you look at the way that Seibel's been playing so far, is, again, if you're French River, you really want to try to stretch him east and west. That's where the best chances have come. That being said, he's made some great saves east to west. If you're the Voodoos, though, you got to get way more pressure on Tarantello here in this second period. We have not, the one goal they scored at the end of the period, they had that pressure. We've not seen that consistently enough. In fact, French River has driven the offensive game so far. Coming into this game, not what you would expect on paper. Again, 29 victories out of within about 35, 36 games in the last 5 years between these two teams, the Voodoos won 29 of them.
Yeah, very impressive stat there indeed for the Powassan Voodoos as the Rapids try to rewrite history a little bit here. Now the puck sent down the ice. These two geographical rivals as well. Hay gets the puck in, but now it's a good chance here for Dawson as he tries to will the puck towards the net. He's taken hard into the corner. Caleb Dawson behind the net now. Tries to pick up the puck. He does. Tried to get it back for Cowell, but Cowell had overskated it. And now Tarantella is just going to cover the puck up and stop the play. I will say one thing, though, where French River, and everyone who has listened to me broadcast French River games before knew that this was coming at some point. The one spot 100% where the edge goes to French River is the canteen at their arena.
Yeah,
and
there were some changes to the canteen this year here in Powassan as well. But yeah, the French River has been is fantastic for that. It's a great road trip, great barn to go into. Yeah. If you ever want to take a road trip down to any of the places here in the Noge.
Bradley tries to get the puck out. Ellard couldn't quite get the shot away. There hasn't been a rink yet that I've been to in the Noge, which isn't many. As now a chance goes turned aside by the Voodoos as Bradley with a nifty little play. As they got a 2-on-1 developing here. Heath Bradley takes the shot. And that's a big save there by Tarantella off the knob of the stick. As Heath Bradley picked his corner, but it was just turned aside. But I haven't been to a rink yet. I've been to French River. I've been to Powassan, obviously. I've been to Cochrane when they were a team. And I've been to, the Jerry McCrory in Sudbury as well. Hasn't been an arena where I've been like, this isn't an arena I want to come back to.
Cochrane, one of the best arenas in the game. Hopefully they get a team back pretty soon. They've been one of those teams that they've lost the team, they've gained teams back, but one of the best, easily one of the best rinks, also one of the best mascots.
Never hear me complain about that mascot. Boys, back for DeCallaway. DeCallaway tried to keep it in, as he does, and Boys now wills it into the half wall, but French River's able to dump that puck down the ice. Villeneuve tried to get to it, and he does, but now DeCallaway picks it up in his own zone. DeCallaway turns on the Jets. He's got a lot of speed to burn as he gets the puck quickly down into Rapids territory. Tried to throw the puck out front of the net, and there was no Voodoo player there. Now he gets tangled up, and the play continues through the neutral zone. Gunner just avoided a big hit there. As now Grifford takes the shot, and that one's turned aside by Seibel. His 19th shot seen so far. Puck behind the net. It's up on the net, so they're going to get a stoppage and play here.
We got to give a lot of credit here to the French River Rapids, as this has probably been the best team I've seen French River put on for quite a while. They have looked very solid in this game so far. Of course, if you're the Voodoos, you're still trying to get some of that chemistry going early on with such a big turnover, but the Rapids have looked very strong, and outside of that 9-1, their first game where they lost 9-1 to the Rock, they've now played two really solid games back-to-back.
Koulis got Cal to bite and got around him. Now the puck goes far side. Good chance here for French River to set up in Voodoo's territory. But Powassan picks it up. Now the puck sent back in by Koulis. Yeah, this Rapids team looked really good in the preseason against Powassan too. Even though Powassan took both games, they were very tight, 4-3 victories both times. As the puck rolls out, Seibel knocks it aside with his stick. And now it's Schonborn sent down the ice. Schonborn scoring one of the overtime winners in that 2 games. Justin Russo, good play to knock the puck loose. And now he skates it in, leaves it for Rotundo. Rotundo with a sharp angle shot. And the rebound nearly found its way to Russo as Tarantella was able to kick it away. Now it's Cal who tried the Michigan. Oh my goodness, the puck just rolled off his stick. He had a bit of a highlight reel moment in mind on that. Now another chance here. Schonborn battling on the far side. Tried to get it out front, but couldn't quite get it through to DuBroy. Now Schonborn in there again. Koulis with the puck though. Koulis sends it near side. As now the Rapids bench yelling down, trying to get something to set up. Now McKillop just wills the puck right back down into Rapids territory. Dawson chasing after it. Puck sent right around on the far side half wall. French River comes away with it, as that's going to get by Jackson Smith, but he's able to pick up the loose puck anyways. Now Cowell going the other way. Caden Cowell walks in, takes a sharp angle shot. Tarantella makes the glove save and holds on for the rebound. And he's going to get the stoppage of play with 15:38 left here in the second period, 2-2.
Well, going back a little bit to talking about the progression of this French River program, this used to be a team where players would look at it and almost think about it like a stat padding game, where you go in and you say, oh, that's going to be an easy win, that's going to be an easy play. Not so much anymore. Like, you look at this again, Espanola, another team who's had success in the last number of years. They gave up 6 goals to this team. Outside of that first game of the Rock, this has been a team that has really been in every single game, and you can see it here. They have played better than the Voodoos at most times in this hockey game.
Sharp angle chance there, turned aside by the Rapids. Now Dubroy gets to it, sends it right back in, off Mason though, so Hayes able to pick it up. Now the puck on the far side. French River picks it up, another player falls down. Cowell with a chance as that one's whistled wide, as he had a gorgeous chance there for Powassan. Coleman sends the puck rack around. Now Cowell picks it up. Cowell on the far side. Looks for some options. He loses possession though, now as Dawson Coleman keeps it in. Puck sent right back and it's past Coleman. Now Mason going the other way. Mason back out to the middle of the ice. Good chance there. Seibel on the rebound. And French River scores. It's now 3-2 for the Rapids.
Well, again, we talk about rebounds. Seibel giving up a rebound there, and no help, again, from his defense. Easily picked up second chance for the Rapids, and that's something that they've feasted on this evening. Now it's 3-2. That was Grishichev with the goal there, number 94.
3-2 for the Rapids here, as Grishichev with his second of the season. Deniz sends the puck in. 21 shots now for the Rapids, 17 for Powassan. Gains the red line, sends it in. Seibel out to plays it, leaves it behind his net for Rotundo. Rotundo up for Deniz. Deniz on the half wall, got it up for his man Ellard. And now Gifford sends across ice, and French River gets it right back down the ice. That was going to go for, no, they waved it off. No icing, so Seibel's out to play it and covers it up.
Again, crashing the net has been, if there's one thing that has been the most effective for both of these teams in this game, it has been crashing the net. When you look at pretty much every single goal that's been scored in this game, the 5 of them between these two teams, they pretty much all come in some way of second chance opportunities or getting bodies in front of the net. We haven't seen either team do it too much frequently. That might be a big difference maker as we head into the second half of this game.
Yeah, a couple of the Rapids' goals have been on secondary chances. The Voodoos' second goal was on a secondary, maybe even third chance. As the puck now on the near side half wall. Good chance here, but it's sent out front. And now it's picked off by Powassan. Russo leading the charge the other way. Russo takes the shot, kicked aside by Tarantella. Now another chance, another save by Tarantella. Voodoos tried to get the puck out front. It hit a skate, and now it's down the ice for the Rapids. Coleman battling for possession in the near, or right behind the net. Tries to get a hold of it, but it's turned aside by the Voodoos, and now it's kicked back into Voodoos territory by the Rapids. Seibel plays the puck, sends it back in, and now the puck flipped out by the Voodoos. Russo into the offensive zone, tries to get around his man, walks around behind the net, passed the puck out, there was nobody there, and now it's a one-on-one for Villeneuve and Rotundo. Villeneuve to the outside, sent the puck out front, there was nobody there for French River. Now puck comes loose for Cal. Cal going the other way. Owen Cal lost the handle on it, and the puck goes goes out of harm's way and behind the net. Now Villeneuve out the other way for Smith. Smith sends the puck up the ice. Cal just out of his reach. Villeneuve kicks it out and is sent back in by Powassan, but that's a delayed offside. So gives French River some time to breathe. Villeneuve with the puck. Tries to go cross ice. Picked off by Smith, but it's immediately passed right back to French River before Smith gets it again. Sends it to the near side. Owen Cal with the puck. Sent in. Schoenborn now. Walks in, takes a shot. That one stopped by Shashenko in front. As now Schoenborn now with the puck. Battling for it. Villeneuve gets it out. Sends it in. Seibel out to play the puck behind the net. And it's Rotundo who decides to send it right back down the ice. Stopped in by Hay. Hay able to get it out. I thought it hit a body, but instead just hit the little padding that was on the bench on the edge there, so you don't come face to face with the bench glass. There's another hit from McGrath on Rotundo, and now we'll get a stoppage in play.
Well, the game's starting to lengthen out more, which is kind of hard to do in this rink. It's a bit on the smaller side, but we are seeing some more end-to-end action here, but a lot of sloppiness in the neutral zone from both teams. We're seeing some passes that aren't quite getting to their marks, and if one of these teams can tame that neutral zone, they're going to have a huge advantage here.
Puck back to Callaway at the point. Takes a shot. Tarantella with a big save there. And he's just going to get the rebound and cover it up, as that was in and out of Tarantella's glove.
And that's exactly what the Voodoos want to do. Shots from the point, something that can give you second chance opportunities. A really good chance there from Ellard, who had almost a second chance opportunity, but both goalies having to be sharp, and that's something that Tarantella's done a good job of, is not letting too many rebounds up.
Puck out of Rapids territory off the faceoff draw. Mason tried to get it in. He does. Takes a shot. That one just went wide of the net. Now Dawson wills the puck down the ice. Cowell in a foot race trying to get to it, but it's sent right back to the neutral zone. Delayed offside against Powassan, as Mason gets the puck back through the neutral zone again. Cowell battling for it. Gets it into Dawson. Dawson sends it in deep. Gifford plays it around. On the far side, that's Stiles. Got it near side back to Gifford. And Gifford tried to get his man in the neutral zone. That should go for icing. But instead, Seibel plays it behind his net as it was waved off. Back to Gifford. Gifford takes a shot. That one hit a stick and bounced wide as Grushichev took a swat at it, but he couldn't quite get the puck into pay dirt. Now near side, Voodoos get the puck out of their zone. Deniz with it. Deniz takes a shot. That one's high into the glove of Tarantella, as now there's some rough stuff after the whistle on Bradley.
Again with the Voodoos getting some people in front of the net, but we've seen a lot of transitions play where the Voodoos are either trying to take shots away from the outside, or they get good opportunities one-on-one, but they don't get any help. They don't have that extra person coming in on them on the rush. A lot of credit, too, on the other side of French River for being very aggressive. We've seen that a couple of times where they've beaten out some icing calls. That aggressiveness is going to could cause a mistake from the Voodoos in their own zone. That might cost them.
As the puck flipped out of Rapids, or not out of the Rapids territory, but flipped off the helmet of Dubuc, now from his teammate. Now McKillop throws that one towards the net. No one was there, though, as that one missed wide. Now McKillop with the puck at his blue line, sends it up for Russo. Russo got it off the skate, and it's out of Rapids territory again. Now as Dubuc sends it down the ice. Sent in, Seibel with the save. And we'll get a stoppage here. And now some more rough stuff afterwards as Bradley takes his man to the ice.
Well, something we were talking about maybe potentially after DeBox's hit back in the first period, if we would have seen some retaliation, but we are seeing stuff kind of heat up. One of the things that's kind of nice is that it's kind of creating a bit of a rivalry a little bit between these two teams, which would be it's always nice to have. It always makes those Timmins and Sudbury and Hearst games even better. Of course, obviously, French River very close to Powassan geographically, so
by close, you mean an hour and a half away.
Well, that's the same as Sudbury.
I know, but that's the funny thing when I went to go and hang. I got a chance last year to go on a road trip with the Renfrew Wolves, and their radio guy was telling me that the longest road trip that they have in the CCHL is 2 hours.
What's the, is it 4 hours or?
As the puck sent in, tipped away from Seibel. We'll continue this conversation here in a moment. As the puck back through the neutral zone, DuBroy plays it for Boyce. Boyce gets it into Rapids territory, threw it out to the middle of the ice. Voodoos keep it in, DuBroy with it. DuBroy threw the puck towards the net, hit a body and didn't make it through. Now Villeneuve takes a hit from DuBroy, and Villeneuve gets the puck down the ice. Villeneuve sends the puck in behind the net. Coleman with it, sends it out in the neutral zone. Hay picks it up to Shashenko on the near side. Shashenko gets it to Gunner. Gunner, one of the goal scorers here for Powassan, got the puck into Rapids territory. Now Boyce chasing after the puck. He takes his man into the Voodoos bench on a hard hit, and that'll go for icing against the Rapids, as you were saying.
Well, I was just now that I was thinking about it more, I got a chance to think. I'm pretty sure we did this on the podcast the one time where we had, maybe it was Peter on, or one of the players talking about road trips. It might have been Duraculo. Didn't they say something about that Hearst, that northern road trip, 6-7 hours?
Yeah, Hearst is 6-7 hours, almost 8 hours from here.
That is crazy.
And the Sioux is 5.5.
Yep.
So.
And they played them a little bit more now, right, with the restructuring and everything?
Yep. But that's the thing that everyone says that, like, oh, in the CC they were like, oh, the furthest road trip's 2 hours is terrible. I'm like, that's a short road trip at the NOJHL.
That's your average road trip. I don't think there's I'd be surprised if there's anything shorter than like an hour. Well, maybe between Sudbury and Espanola.
Up north a little bit more is now the puck sent in. Schoenborn goes after it. Iroquois Falls to Timmins is about 40 minutes. So
okay, there you go.
But for the Powassan Voodoos, there's nothing really close. The closest is being an hour and a half. So now the puck rolls in on Seibel. He's just going to cover it up.
I will say I do not envy the Sioux to Timmins or Hearst.
Sioux to Hearst, yeah. That will bring us to our mid-period break, though. And we'll be back with more geographical facts, potentially. Probably not on the other side of this.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
And we welcome you back to the Powassan Sportsplex. Courtney Kenny, pleased to be joined by geographical guru Ben Sargent.
Geography was not my strong suit. I don't even remember like half the highways coming out of North Bay.
Well, you just got to worry about 11 and 17, really.
Yeah, I don't know. But I do know that Hearst is 7 hours away.
There you go. Look at you go.
Unless the
what highway do you take to get to Hearst?
11 north.
Look at that. There we go.
I just
geographical guru. Okay, what highway do you take to get to Sudbury?
Oh, 17.
Oh, look at you.
That's an easy one, though.
Okay, what highway do you take to get to Espanola?
It's the same one. It's past Sudbury, isn't it? Yeah, that's what 17.
Elliott Lake.
Oh, I don't know where Elliott Lake is.
Elliott Lake's Highway 17.
Oh, is it?
It's past Espanola.
I have never been to Elliott Lake.
Well.
I heard they have Vikings, though.
They do, and they're about to get their arena back, which is really exciting for them.
That was a huge, talk about Kraft Hockeyville. That was probably one of the most heartfelt ones, I think, at least in recent memory. That's a huge one for them. Yeah, Voodoos general manager Chris Dawson really put his support behind it, too. He was able to bring Hockeyville to North Bay years ago, where we got the New York Islanders and Atlanta Thrashers to play at Memorial Gardens. The Atlanta who?
Exactly. The Winnipeg Jets. The second Winnipeg Jets. Puck down the ice now. Rotundo with some speed into Rapids territory. Rotundo with a chance. And that one's turned aside by Tarantella.
One of those things that we haven't really talked about. Well, we did a little bit in the first period. The shots, 23-20 so far, roughly about halfway through this hockey game. There have been a lot of shots fired, albeit not as many now in the second period as this game has started to settle into what we'll probably see for the rest of this hockey game. But even in this game, both so far in this period, neither goalie has been tested too much, though Seibel did make a really nice save at the very beginning of this period.
Good play by Rotundo, keeps the puck in twice. And now Mason has it in his own zone. Mason sends it down the ice. Good stick there by Rotundo, blocked the pass. But now French River with another chance. Seibel gets the save made on that one. And now the puck flipped right back down, all the way down, in fact, for icing. So the Rapids will get an offensive zone draw here with 7:53 left in the second period.
Well, again, we're kind of back to where the Voodoos were back in the first period around this time, with this much time remaining, where they were down 2-1. Now they're in that catch-up game again, trying to tie things up going into that third period. If you're French River, you'd love to get a fourth one here and just to really put a lot of pressure on them in the final 20, but we're going to need to see a little bit more from the Voodoos here.
Cowell has a man all over him. Delayed penalty coming to French River here as Dawson battles for the puck. Now Cowell having his say with the guy that was basically draped all over him, but the Voodoos will have a power play here for the next 2 minutes or less.
Cowell not very happy as he's sending his thoughts to the French River players. It looks like it's Gifford.
Going off,
yeah, but that's just as I was saying, they need a little bit more. A great burst of speed by Cowell down the side, forces into an obstruction penalty. Last time the Voodoos were on the power play, they got a goal out of this. We'll see if they can do the same idea. Again, trying to get pucks into the net, trying to crash the net, create some second chance opportunities. Maybe put one by Tarantello, who's really faced a lot of shots right into his body. You've got to try to stretch him east and west. Try and open up some space that you can put a puck by him.
Cal in for the draw. He wins it back to Rotundo. Rotundo Sends it back into the half wall for Cal, who sends it right back to Rotundo. Over for Misa. Misa takes the shot, stopped by Tarantella, and the puck is out of Rapids territory now. Rotundo with it. He leaves it by the Rapids bench for Misa. Misa now at his own blue line. Gets to the red line, sends it into Rapids territory, but the Rapids send it right back into Voodoos territory, and Seibel gets to the puck and plays it. Now he holds it behind his net, leaves it for his man Rotundo. Rotundo down the ice for Misa. Misa through the neutral zone, hit a Rapids player though, and French River is able to send it right back in. Good penalty killing here for the Rapids, as the Voodoos aren't able to get anything going so far now. Schunborn couldn't quite get to the puck, so Seibel had to play it for Rotundo as it went right back into Voodoos territory. Now Cowell, who drew the penalty, has the puck. As the Voodoos make a change here, now Dubuc is able to get it back into Voodoos territory.
Cowell gets lucky there. That's a really bad giveaway in the neutral zone while you're on the power play.
Voodoos haven't gotten any offensive zone presence yet for over a minute on this power play, as the Rapids have just been textbook penalty kill with all the pressure so far. Cowell down the ice, Dubroy got to it, and the puck just stayed there at the blue line, sent right back into Voodoos territory.
Well,
now Russo with the puck. Russo through the neutral zone to Cowell. Cowell walks in. Cowell tried to go to the outside, turns around. Now he goes into the middle of the ice for Dubroy with the shot. Rebound chance, it's there in the blue paint, and the Voodoos couldn't quite get it home.
exactly what the Voodoos wanted to do there, and they just couldn't quite get it as the puck was loose right in front of the open net as this power play is drawing to a close.
Now in all alone behind the man, as that's going to be a penalty taken by Dawson for slashing, as Jackson and Dawson were all over their man. As Jackson tried to jump up, grab the puck as it was going over his head. He just tipped it, but it went right to the French River player, and now Powassan will have to kill a penalty.
I was almost expecting a penalty shot there. It looked like he might have been on a bit of a breakaway, but either way, not a great penalty to take there. It's one of those where you get beat and you kind of have to take it, but you'd rather not. Now, of course, that kills off the rest of their penalty with roughly less than 10 seconds left on it. Hard to see from our viewpoint.
Yeah, the stanchion, our mortal enemy.
But
here
again,
the Powassan Sportsplex.
We saw such a good Voodoos power play back in the end of that first period. This one not so good. They had a great chance near the end where Tarantelli did give up a rebound. No one was there to pot it home. And now the Rapids have a great chance to go up two.
Another chance blocked down by Seibel. And the rebound was there for a moment, but the Voodoos clear it away. Now Villanez back to Rushichev. Rushichev with the shot, turned aside by Seibel. Another chance, kicked aside by the goaltender. Now behind the net, Rapids have it, as they're already showing a better power play here. Behind the net, Mason with it. Mason to the near side for his man. Gets it to Rushichev. Rushichev takes a shot, Seibel with the save. As the Rapids have already taken a few extra shots here.
Well, Joey Stiles, number 86 for the Rapids. Really good job. He starts out on the far side, right on the outside of the hash, slowly works his way in where there was a box, almost put himself in a perfect position in the slot area right behind the defender. The defender didn't even see him. Something we're going to have to watch to see if that weak side attacker is going to be able to slip in.
Rushichev on the power play again. Switches spots with Haslam. Rushichev takes a shot again from the point. It's turned aside by Seibel. And now the puck sent down the ice by the Rapids. Rushichev in his own zone. Sends the puck down the ice. Sent back down by McKillop. As Dubroy leveled a big hit on Rushichev in his own zone. Less than a minute now on the man advantage for French River. Haslam goes for a skate. Gets it into Voodoos territory on the far side wall. Now a chance, Stiles to the near side for Grushichev. Grushichev threw the puck back across the ice. Stiles got a piece of it, and it's out of the zone. Now Grushichev with it again. In the neutral zone, number 94 throws it back to Haslam. 4 minutes left here in the second period. 3-2 French River leads, 20 seconds left on the man advantage. As now the puck comes to Russo. Russo with the puck. Flips it down, but it's not out as Grushichev keeps it at the blue line. And Powassan doing everything they can to get the puck out as Russo finally wills it down the ice. 10 seconds left. Haslam with the puck to Mason. Mason with some speed. Walks in. Didn't like his chances on the shot, so he doesn't take one. And now the puck down the ice, and they nearly sprung Dawson out of the box. As it was just out of his reach. Now Schoenborn keeps the puck in. He's knocked off the puck, looking for some options. Throws it near side to Rotundo. Rotundo with a shot. And that one stopped before it even got to the net. Now the puck down the ice. Seibel out to play it. Seibel sends it down the ice for Ellard. Caleb Ellard into Rapids territory. Throws the puck towards the net. Tarantella is just going to cover it up. And that'll stop the play there at 3:17.
Well, one of the biggest differences that we've seen so far between the Rapids and the Voodoos penalty kill, we saw the Rapids deploying almost a two-man high press on that penalty kill. They were getting really aggressive. They were really pinning the Voodoos in their own zone with two out of their four players up high in the offensive in the Voodoos defensive zone. What we saw with the Voodoos, though, was only a single-man press, and they were pretty reserved. So obviously a much more aggressive Rapids team.
Puck sent in, turned aside as it went just wide. Now the puck through the neutral zone, back to Seibel, though. As the Voodoos play it behind their net. Now the puck comes out through the neutral zone. Shashenko. Rapids with the puck through their own zone. And they send the puck out of play.
Well, again, as we go into the dying seconds here, 2:45 to go in the second period. Again, same story as the first period. You find yourself Powassan down by 1, looking to try to tie things up going into that third period. We'll see if the Rapids are able to keep this and take this lead into the third period. But again, Tarantello's had a good game in net so far, 24 shots, 22 saves, but he hasn't faced too much tough stuff. The Voodoos, a lot of shots from the outside. On the other side, though, Seibel's had to make 3 or 4 really strong saves to keep the Voodoos in this.
Puck down into Rapids territory. And the Rapids get it out quickly. Into Voodoos territory now. Has a good chance there, just goes wide of the net. Now down the ice the other way. Cowell with a chance. Cowell with a shot! And that one's turned aside by Tarantella.
Well, again, another solid stop from Tarantella, but not very hard to make that one as it's right into his body. Again, a lot of these breaks coming in off the wing, coming in from the side, tough angles to score. The Voodoos are gonna need to find a way to either get a man over to pass and get a one-time shot on Tarantella, or they're gonna have to find a way to break into the middle of the ice, give them some more shooting options.
2:18 left here in this second period. 3-2 Rapids lead. And the puck still somehow kept in as Schunborn gets to it. And now it's down into the neutral zone and sent back in. 2 minutes left. Hay with the puck behind his net. Back into the corner. Flip down. Rotundo gets to it. Rotundo flips it up and out, and now he carries it back in. Good chance there for Rotundo, turned aside by Tarantella. With 1:48 left on the clock, he's just going to stop it.
Well, another shot that goes up high into the chest of Tarantella. If you're going to do that, you want to get it a little bit low. You want to create rebound opportunities. You're going to need to get it off the you're going to have to get off the pads a little bit. Thank you.
It is legitimately. It was your birthday yesterday.
It was my birthday, yes. Mike Brito, former coach, former House League hockey coach. Well,
look at you.
Dirty 30.
Dirty 30, eh? Isn't that scary?
Lots of back pain.
Welcome to the club, my friend. It's Dubroy tries to carry the puck. And that was a birthday I had a lot of problems with, turning 30. I'm not going to lie. Sent back in. Nearly came out front. Tarantella has to cover it up. Yeah, it was weird. I had a lot of problems with it, and the day after my birthday, I was like, it's just another day.
Oh, you had a lot of
I was like,
oh, we're
my
going
God.
deep in this
podcast.
Yeah. Oh, okay. No, it's just a normal day for me.
Well, there you go. As we get set for another offensive zone draw here.
It was kind of a bigger day, though, because it was Mike's 733rd birthday.
It is. Happy birthday, cameraman Mike. Puck comes back down.
Pretty sure that broke some records.
He's up there.
I don't think there's anyone even close.
As French River going the other way, Christopoulos stops up in Voodoos territory, takes another shot, and now the rebound chance comes back out off the end wall, and the Rapids couldn't quite get a shot away. Last minute here in the second period. As once again, Courtney Kenny pleased to be joined by a belated birthday boy, Ben Sargent, as they announced here at the Sportsplex. Gunner with the puck, flips it back in. I'd wondered why he'd stopped talking. I was like, what's going on?
I kind of, yeah, I know. I didn't realize what was happening at first. I kind of regret taking this game now.
Yeah, you should. Rotundo with the shot. That one's blocked. As Boys tried to swipe at another chance, Gunner has the puck, though. He took the shot, went just wide. 25 seconds left on the clock, sent back to the point, and that puck sent out by Coleman. As the Voodoos had some offensive pressure there, Rotundo sends it up for Russo. Russo fires it back in, and now the puck is flipped out of play as it hits the netting with 11 seconds left on the clock.
I think if you're going to break this game down into a very simple sentence, it's about quality chances. 29-26 the shots, you say, wow, both teams have had a good chance, but the quality chances for French River have been much higher. A lot of those shots from the Voodoos going right into the body of Tarantello, usually from pretty far out. So obviously between him and Seibel's had the much tougher night.
Tarantella swipes aside one there as Cal had the shot away off the draw. Now Seibel plays it and just lets the clock run out, as that'll do it here for the middle frame of this one. 3-2 after 40 minutes of play for the French River Rapids. Powassan Voodoos will look to rebound here in the third period. Ben, before we go to break, what did you like and what didn't you like about that second period?
I think there was some, for the Voodoos, I think they just need to get better quality chance in the offensive zone. They need to make Tarantello work way more. He's pretty much just standing in front of the puck and making saves, albeit good saves, but he's not working very hard. If you're the Rapids, I think they're pressing really well, and they've also created some really good opportunities. This is going to be an interesting third period. I think the team talk that they're about to go into might be a huge turning point.
We'll have to see if it is indeed a turning point as we get back to an intermission here, and we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with more Voodoos hockey at the end of this second intermission.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items, or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
The Goalie Resiliency Podcast, hosted by Chris Dawson and Dr. Rob Graham. With player interviews new and old, goalie insights, and everything you need to know about being a netminder, this is the podcast to check out. You can subscribe at youtube.com/goalie-resiliency or instagram.com/goalie_resiliency.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
The Goalie Resiliency Podcast, hosted by Chris Dawson and Dr. Rob Graham. With player interviews new and old, goalie insights, and everything you need to know about being a netminder, this is the podcast to check out. You can subscribe at youtube.com/goalieresiliency or instagram.com/goalie_resiliency.
And we welcome you back inside the Powassan Sportsplex here, where the Powassan Voodoos are set to take on the French River Rapids for the third period of this game at 3-2 right now. The Rapids lead heading into the third period. I would love to tell you what the out-of-town scoreboard is, but the internet in this place is just fantastic. Oh, look at that. Hey, technology. Courtney Kenny, pleased to be joined by Ben Sargent here as we get set for the teams to come back on the ice right now. No, that's only the Voodoos games, Ben.
I'm getting there.
We're
Technology.
terrible. We're terrible.
There we go.
All right, you might as well tell everyone what's going on.
All right, so Elliott Lake is up 3-2 going into the third over the Gold Miners. The Battle of the Lakes there. The Blind River Beavers are tied with Sioux, Michigan, 2-2, just at the tail end of the second period. And the Storm are trailing the other Sioux team, the Thunderbirds, 4-1, with about 2 minutes left in the second.
Thank you very much. Question for you, geography guru Ben.
Yes.
How do you get to Kirkland Lake from here? What highway do you take?
You take a plane. I honestly don't know.
No, you don't.
1 second.
No, hey, you can't Google it.
Kirkland
Okay,
Lake.
he's good. All right, this is riveting.
Oh, no. Well, this isn't Google. I'm sorry.
Well, Ben will eventually figure it out, but we're ready now for the start of the third period as the Rapids in their home whites are going left to right, and the Voodoos in their road greens, or home greens, I should say, are going right to left. As quickly down into Rapids territory, but it's out for Styles. Styles gets it up for Mason. Mason goes cross ice, and his pass didn't reach anyone, but the Rapids still have the puck as they bring it out into the middle of the ice. There's a good chance there. It's kicked aside by Seibel, as that's the 30th shot now that he's faced in this game. Jackson Smith with the puck. Out of his zone goes cross ice for Gunner. Gunner, one of the goal scorers here in this one, gets the puck into Rapids territory, and then the Voodoos will go for a change. Koulis down the ice is tipped in by Mason. As now behind the net is Coleman. Coleman gets it to Callaway. And the puck just out of Voodoos territory. Schunborn tried to get a piece of that one, but it's back into Voodoos territory now with Coleman. Coleman dangerous in front of Seibel's net. Gets it to Callaway. Callaway. Sharp angle shot turned aside by Tarantella. As that's the 28th shot that he's seen in this one. Rapids rim it around their zone. Try to get it out. Coleman kept it in briefly. And now it could be a 2-on-1 for the Rapids. DeBuck goes cross ice, and that one to Jansa, never connected. Now Coleman goes up the ice. Another chance here for the Voodoos, as that one is thrown wide of the net. Another chance, secondary chance thrown towards the net, and that one missed Tarantella, but they did get one shot on goal. Coleman tips the puck in.
It's Highway 11 North.
Thank you, Ben.
Took me way too long to figure that out.
That did. That literally took you until now. That's Kirkland Lake from Powassan, everyone. Now Dawson with the puck. Sends the puck in. It's kicked aside by Tarantella. As now shots on goal are both 30-30.
I will say there's a reason I don't drive team buses.
Now DeBroy walks in, picked his corner, and that one is over the net. Another nifty chance there by Rotundo to keep it in, but it hits his man and is dumped down the ice by the Rapids. It hits off the roof of the Sportsplex, and it's out of play.
DeBroy has one heck of a shot. We just saw that there, just over the net there of past a startled Tarantello as that one was ripped by him. Probably one of the best actual shots that we've seen in this game. Just missing it, but we're going to need to see a little bit more of that from the Voodoos if they want to try to get back into this. Just about 18 minutes left in this hockey game to find their way to get a goal to try to force extra time.
Voodoos out shooting the Rapids here early. Christopoulos gets the puck. He's muscled off of it, though, by Bradley. Bradley sends it near side to Ellard. Jackson Smith now sends the puck out of his zone. And Rotundo taking hard into the boards, but still makes the play. Now battle and dust up on the far side. Sent him for Smith. Smith with the puck. Goes now for Rotundo. Rotundo goes far side, tried to get a shot away. That one was blocked by the Rapids. Now French River on the counterattack. Bartzis tried to get it in, but now it's down to Bradley. Bradley in Rapids territory. Dumps it in deep. And French River has possession again. Villeneuve. Up to Bratzis. Lost the handle on it though now as Coleman got the puck down for Bradley, but it's out of his reach. Now the puck rolling in on Seibel. Seibel leaves it for DeCallaway. DeCallaway up for Gunner. Gunner skates around a couple of Rapids players, gets the puck down the ice to Anthony Boyes, and Boyes sends it in deep. Shashenko with the puck. Battling for it with Russo. Now another chance here as Bartzis gets it down into Voodoos territory, but Russo gets him off the puck, and a big hit there thrown by Gunner. Now Russo stops up, looks back, good chance there by Cal, and that one was kicked aside by Tarantella and out of play.
Well, a great start to this period from the Voodoos. That's one of the better transition plays that we've seen, where he kind of stop up, they keep possession, and then they get a good opportunity with some of the defense coming up near the blue line. But they're going to need to get a little bit more traffic in front. They're going to need to get those pucks actually on target. But it is a good start for Powassan, exactly what Peter Goulet wanted.
Now they're to the power play. Jackson Smith with the puck at the point. Looks to take a bit of a shot. Might be fanned on it. Now Cowell throws it towards the front, and Smith realized his stick was broken, so he had to rush back to the bench.
A little bit of a tumble as well.
Now Dawson with it. Dawson. Sharp angle. Chance. Tarantella makes a stop, and now he's down on the ice. So that's McGrath for slashing. And now there's a whole bunch of bodies in the blue paint in the French River net.
Yeah, not a good penalty for McGrath to take there, as already the Voodoos with all the momentum in the first 4 minutes of this period. And now all of a sudden, they have a really good chance of tying it. They've had one really good power play at the end of the first period. The one that they had in the second period, not the best. They had one good opportunity. But here's going to be probably one of their best chances in this game to tie things up.
Puck kept in by Smith. He sends it back around, but instead Shashenko gets to it, sends it down the ice. Seibel out to play it.
I think Seibel has probably been one of the more aggressive goaltenders we've seen for the Voodoos when it comes to playing it, next to maybe Cash Money, Mike McCabe.
Cash Money.
Went to Anaheim Duck camp.
Started off the season with the OHL team in North Bay with a shutout against the Peterborough Petes.
A former Trapper, 18U Trapper, that they won the championship there a few years ago.
Yeah, Mike McIver, Cash Money, what a goaltender. As the Rapids try to clear the puck out of the zone, they send it right into the netting and out of play.
Also former billet of GM Chris Dawson. I guess the other way around.
Billet's son of
Billet's son, there you go. I don't think Mike was
billeting Chris?
Billeting Chris.
Okay.
I don't know. That'd be kind of scary. The Dallas Stars fan.
I wouldn't bill it with Chris. That's terrible. Rotundo with the puck. Takes a shot. That one's blocked by the Rapids, and the puck is down the ice. Rotundo with possession. Less than a minute now on the man advantage as Rotundo skates out of his zone. Looks down the ice, gets it to Cal. Cal to Gunner. Now it's to Cal. Cal sends it towards the net, nearly tipped on Tarantella. It's turned aside anyways.
Love to see the Voodoos get a couple of more guys in that slot area. Really focusing on the outside of the zone on this power play, and they just haven't been able to get anything really good on Tarantella. Not able to get any rebounds off of him.
Now Rotundo. Stick handling his way down the ice, gets to Misa. Misa, sharp angle. Tarantella, puck is in the blue paint, and quickly blown down as the goaltender got a piece of it.
Again,
we'll get another stoppage here.
Another good opportunity. Misa very quick off the wing there. Had a great job getting down, but just a little bit late for Callan Schonenberg trying to get down and crash the net there. But again, a lot of positives coming out of this, but if you're Powassan, you're hopefully trying to get 2 here to win this thing in regulation.
14:26 here left in this third period. Ellard out for the draw now. Ellard wins it back. Coleman gets to it, sends it towards the net. Tarantella with the glove on that one, as that one was going to float over the net. And he makes a stop there. Another break here in action as the Voodoos are still on the power play, but not for very long.
Well, one of those things we talked about at the beginning was also the standings. Right now, the Voodoos sitting 9th with 2 points, tied with the Sioux Eagles. The Rapids right underneath them with 1 point. In fact, the Rapids could leapfrog them with a victory here tonight, up to 3 points. It is a tough league this year.
Dawson with a shot, rebound chance, put to the side of the net. 2 big saves there for Tarantella. As we're back to 5-on-5, another chance there by DeCallaway, turned aside by the goaltender. As the Voodoos now have just put a couple of shots on goal. Now a big hit, and we got a Voodoo player down on the ice. As up slowly is Deniz, and now the Rapids go the other way and score. It's 4-2 Rapids on an injury to the other side.
Well, DeKyle got hit, looked like late and nowhere near the puck. Felt like, obviously the Voodoos feel like that should have been blown dead. But the Rapids take advantage of the opportunity, and just like that, a huge blow to the Voodoos and a big boost up here to the Rapids with about 14 minutes left.
4-2. Shots on goal now favor the Voodoos too, 36-31. Rapids stunning the Voodoos so far.
Yeah, the fans
very
definitely
very unimpressed by that.
Yeah, very unimpressed by that. What they believe to be a call.
Rushichev took the shot. That one rode over the net. Now Deniz battling for it on the far side. Tried to get it to Bradley, but it gets to McKillop. McKillop sends the puck down the ice. Flip back in for Deniz, but it never actually got in the zone. Well, Bradley had been sent in. That would have been offside. Styles with the puck. It's kept in by McKillop. No, it's not. Sent down the ice now with some speed is Jansa. Jansa, sharp angle, turned aside by Seibel. Now McKillop with the puck, flips it down the ice. That'll miss everyone as Haslam picks it up. Some unrest now in the Sportsplex, as it was a bit of a listless crowd. Now it's a little bit of unrest there as another little bouncer in is turned aside by Seibel, and he's going to cover it up. 7 minutes gone here in this third period. Rapids with 2 unanswered goals. Little shot there by Jansa after the whistle on McKillop too.
Yeah, and Grishichev was the goal scorer there. In fact, the last 2 Rapids goals have been by Grishichev. Now up to 3 goals on the season. A great start of the season for him. Either way, though, it's tough when you're the Voodoos who, to be fair, the Rapids have at times outplayed the Voodoos, but the Voodoos do come out really strong in the first 6 minutes or so, and then to give up a goal. This game's not the most fair.
Kyle down the ice with a bit of speed here now with Schunborn as well. Throws it towards Tarantella. Tarantella turns that one aside. And now the puck back to the point. Coleman tries to keep it in. Schunborn battling for it. It's back to Coleman at the point. Coleman goes cross ice. Finds his man. Rotundo takes the shot. Tarantella with the save. Schunborn battling for it. Gets it back to Coleman. Coleman. Far side. Rotundo again with another shot. That one's wide of the net. Coleman couldn't keep the line, though, as the puck back down through the neutral zone. Rotundo picks it up. Rotundo flips it near side to Coleman. Coleman in his own zone at the faceoff dot, skates out, gets it to the red line, dumps it in, and will go off for a quick change as the Rapids now. try to keep it in, but they can't. And the Voodoos go for a wholesale change now. Back through to the neutral zone. McKillop back out on the ice. Goes to Smith. Smith, his pass up the ice for Boyce, hits a stick and goes down and away from everyone. Battling for it now, McKillop in the near side with his man. Boyce comes away with it. Boyce up for Gunner. Gunner skates the puck in, overskated the puck though as he lost the handle on it. And now the puck to the far side in the corner on the half wall. Now for Haslam. Haslam, long shot, takes it, and Seibel makes the save, and we'll get a stoppage here.
And the Voodoos are still looking for their team to really click this year. It just hasn't happened so far, as these players a lot of players again have never played with each other, and they're trying to get used to the system that Peter Goulet wants to play. And you can just see they're maybe just a step behind. They're not able to quite be where they want to be.
At some point it does have to click though. This is game number 5 of a shorter season than last year.
And a tougher way to make the playoffs.
Exactly. 11:07 left in the third period. 4-2, French River leads.
Yeah, and speaking of the playoffs, it's going to be very interesting to see how this is going to shape up. Obviously, the West has always been such a strong conference. It's going to be very interesting to see how the playoffs shape up this year, and how many of the Eastern teams are going to end up in there, or the former Eastern teams, I should say.
Rotundo got the puck through the neutral zone. Now the puck up the ice. DuBroy battled for it. Coleman got it, kept it in. As now it's to the far side. DuBroy goes to get to it, sends it in deep. Behind the net, Cowell has it. Cowell threw it to the front. Nobody was there though. Stiles taken down. It's out front. Good chance there for Cowell. Turned aside by Tarantella. As now Cowell on the far side loses the handle on it. Tries to throw his man into the boards. And is sent down the ice by Grushichev. Coleman gets to it. Coleman nearly lost it there as it was almost picked off. Now DuBroy sends the puck in. Dawson couldn't quite get a handle on it. And now the puck through the neutral zone. Rotundo gets it up for Cowell. Cowell walks back in. Cowell right along the wall. Gets it back to Coleman. Coleman to Cowell on the half wall. Cowell sends it around to the far side to Callaway. Good to see him back out there. Couldn't quite get to the puck. Halfway out through this third period. French River up 4-2. The Callaway battling with Haslam now. Haslam goes far side. Bradley picks it up. Bradley has some speed through the neutral zone. Bradley walks in, takes a shot. That one's blocked aside by Tarantella. That'll bring us to our mid-period break, though. And we'll have to see if Powassan can tie it up or if French River is able to hold down the fort for the final 10 minutes of this third period on the other side of this.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Average Joe's Eatery. Average Joe's, where we want your experience here to be a happy one. 3501 Trout Lake Road.
And we welcome you back to the Powassan Sportsplex here as the Powassan Voodoos look to rebound against the French River Rapids. They're currently 1-3 on the season, while the Rapids are 0-2, are looking for their first victory on the year. And Tarantella has been the story of the night so far for French River. Seibel, on the other hand, has made some big saves, but when he's needed some help, he hasn't been able to get bailed out.
Yeah, we take a little notes of when there's big moments that happen. There's 3 or 4 Seibel saves that are on those notes. Nothing from Tarantella, just because he just hasn't been tested in that same way. He's faced a lot of shots, yes, but a lot of shots that are going into his body, and he hasn't had to make a lot of lateral movement. Another big shout out, at least another big performer of this game is Grushichev, who has 2 goals for the Rapids so far, both of them the most important ones, which have given the Rapids the lead. But I think if you look at anything, you look at the shots, 74 shots collected between these two teams. A lot of shots are happening, but the amount of quality shots heavily favored for the Rapids.
There's another chance here. McKillop throws it towards the net, turned aside by Tarantella. As now going the other way is French River. Dubuc tried to get it in. Russo overskated it. And that'll be a penalty against the Rapids. And now if you're the Voodoos, here's a chance to try and get back into it.
Well, this will now be their second penalty, or power play, sorry, of the third period. And to give credit to the Voodoos, they played well in this third period. And obviously a very contentious fourth goal that the Rapids got, that a lot of the faithful here, the Voodoos, probably think it shouldn't have come back. But either way, the Voodoos have played really well, but it's one of those it's too little too late almost things. With about 9.5 minutes left, they need to get something on this power play.
Rotundo with the puck, near side to Misa, back to Rotundo. Rotundo tried to feather it through traffic, but he couldn't, and it's blocked and out of the zone. Now Rotundo, back to Cal. Now up for Misa. Misa sends it in deep. Koulis with the puck, battling for possession. Trying to shove the puck along the wall. French River's just happy to kill off some time. 9 minutes left in this third period. Puck comes loose. French River gets to it first, though, and now they try to dump it down, and it's kept in. Rotundo from the point is blocked in front, and the puck sat there for a moment. Now it's flipped down and out of the zone. Seibel out to play the puck, though, as a Rapids player gets to it. Now a good chance there, turned aside by Seibel as he fanned on the clearing attempt to try and get the puck out.
You got to have a lot of confidence to do that, and probably the worst nightmare for a goalie there, as he's not able to get a very solid play. And now the Rapids are going to pin the Voodoos in their own net, or in their own zone for a face-off.
Yeah, the puck came in on Seibel. He just elected to cover it up.
Can we talk about that aggressive high press from the Rapids on their penalty kill? It's worked very effectively. Yes, the Voodoos have had some opportunities, but there have been a number of times where they've killed off a lot of time in the Voodoos zone while they're on the penalty kill.
Shevchenko with the puck, flips it right back in to Voodoos territory. Cowell with it. Gets it to Russo, who gets the pocket picked on that one. And then the shot hits a body and nearly bounced out of play. Now Cowell picks it up again. Goes cross ice to Dawson. Dawson skates in with the puck. Walks in, goes around, tried to shovel it out front, but couldn't quite. Now Cowell got to it. Dawson behind the net. Dawson sends it to Cowell on the near side. Cowell out front was looking for Russo. Russo fanned on the shot, or else he would have had Tarantella at his mercy. Now puck out for Smith. Less than a minute on this man advantage. Smith to Cowell. Cowell flips it back in. Tarantella plays it around. Comes to Dubroy. Dubroy near side for Russo. Russo in the corner. Voodoos with a lot of time here in the zone now, but not any shots to speak of. Now another chance as it's back to 5-on-5. Voodoos only really getting one shot. As now coming in, another chance. Seibel with the big save. Puck down the ice. Rapids with a chance. Haslam dumps it back in. That's a good save there. Turned aside by Seibel. And now the puck in the corner. Puck in deep for French River as they're just killing time in the Voodoos zone as the puck does come out. So now the Voodoos will be able to pick it up.
Well, it does feel like that fourth goal really took some of the wind out of the sails for the Voodoos. They were really cruising in that third period. Grishchev scores that fourth goal, and now they really are playing sloppy here, not making good passes, giving the pucks away in their own zone. And the clock is ticking.
Bradley had his stick lifted, so he wasn't able to hold on to the puck, so no icing call on that as they wave it off. Puck back through the neutral zone now. Sent back in. Couple of bodies on the ice here in the neutral zone. Sticks flying and everything. Coleman with 6 minutes left here in this third period. 4-2 Rapids lead as the puck is stuck up at the blue line. Now Gifford with it. Sends it across ice. Haslam sends it in. And Seibel with the save. Ellard with it. Goes up ice. Deniz gets it up for Bradley. Bradley on the far side dumps it in. Gifford, I should say, got the puck out. And now the Rapids going the other way. Stiles taken off the puck by Gunner. Sent back in by the Rapids. Behind the net, Smith picks it up. Now on the far side for Gunner. Gunner Try to move. Lost the handle on it. Picks it back up. Now behind the net. Boys with it. Back to the point. Boys. Nice pass over to Smith. Smith with a shot. That one's blocked by the Rapids. No battle for it again. The Rapids come away with it and send it down the ice. McKillop in his own zone. Less than 5 minutes left. Time running out on Powassan. 4-2 Rapids lead. Smith to Boys. Boys. Look far side for Cal. Cal was able to get to it, but he never got a handle on it. Now Shashenko sends the puck down the ice. No, it's blocked by Russo on the far side. On the half wall, Russo tries to come away with it. Still battling for it. Now along the wall, Russo comes away with it. Gets it to Callaway. To Callaway with a shot. That one's blocked. Puck comes back to him. Another chance. Blocked again. And it's out of play. Not only have we seen a lot of shots in this game, but how many blocked shots have we seen for the French River Rapids?
Well, they don't track it, but I'm sure quite a bit. and you know that what hurts, I think, the most for Peter Goulet and his team here, as it looks like there's a good chance they're not going to secure 2 points here. It doesn't get easier. They're Blind River, Greater Sudbury, French River, Greater Sudbury, Espanola, Blind River. Those are the next games that they face. It's going to be a tough upcoming schedule for them.
Yeah, they're barely home at all through October.
Yep, they play Blind River here on Tuesday the 1st, and then they don't come back home until the 19th when they play Blind River again.
Well, Tuesday the 1st is actually at the NOJHL Showcase.
That's true.
So it's in Sudbury. So it's not even a home game. It is a home game, but it's not. Jansa sends it far side. As now the puck stuck behind Seibel's net. It's going to get blown down. 3:44 left here in this third period. And the listless Powassan Voodoos so far to this point are just gliding to the finish line.
But you
looking for any offensive spark.
Yeah, and you look at, again, going through the fact that you're going to be seeing, Blind River twice, Greater Sudbury twice, Espanola in there. You think those French River games in the past, you would look at that as 4 points. Not so much anymore. French River has really impressed me here tonight with the way that they've played. And the Voodoos, they've got to get something clicking here soon before the rails start coming off.
Cowell leaves the puck for Dawson, and Dawson lost the handle on it. Has a good chance there for the Voodoos. Just gets their wires crossed up a little bit.
I think that really...
Rotundo from the point. Blocked aside by Tarantella. We'll have to keep an eye on Seibel, too, to see when the Voodoos elect to pull him at this point, as that'll go for icing. Here's McKillop's back first to it.
Well, Dawson there with misplaying that puck. That's really kind of the story of the game, it feels like, for Powassan. A lot of these passes that are just out of reach, or they're just not getting a good first touch on them. And that's causing them a lot of problems, especially when they're trying to play in transition. They've had a couple of really good opportunities to take some shots, but the passing's just not crisp, and that goes back to that chemistry thing. As it looks like Peter Goulet is going to call a timeout here to try getting something going again. They're down 2 with under 4 minutes to go here. In fact, 3:11 on the clock. And it's going to be a very interesting season, I think, this year for the Voodoos, and it's not going to get easier.
Well, offense has been an issue for the Voodoos so far through 4 games now. Make it 5. There's 10 players on the roster who have held without a point so far.
Yeah, and we've seen some good sparks. The front half of this period, they played really, really well, but they just haven't clicked. And something that they've done in the last few seasons is they've had some great offensive teams, and they lost a lot of those guys.
Yeah.
And so they're looking for guys to step up, and so far they're still waiting. The problem is if you wait too long, if we're going into November, December, and you're still trying to get those guys to kind of, as we see Seibel go off for the extra attacker, if it's going into November or December, I think that's a little bit too late. I think they need to find an answer soon.
Puck won back by the Voodoos. Dubroy over for Smith. And I don't know if that puck ever made its way towards the net. And sent all the way down the ice. French River scores on the empty net. 3:05 left, make it 5-2 Rapids.
Again, you got to give all the credit to French River in this game. They played well. This isn't, I can't even say this is something where the Voodoos have lost this game. The Rapids just have played really well in this game, but there's a lot of missed opportunities that I'm sure Peter Goulet and his team would are going to look at and really kind of would love to have those opportunities back.
Seibel still out of the net. So still an empty net for Powassan. Now it's for Cowell. Cowell walks in. Throws it out front. Voodoos couldn't get a shot away as the Rapids send it right back down the ice. That one won't go for a goal, though. And it won't even go for icing as Russo picks it up. Russo up for Cowell. Cowell to Dawson. Dawson skates the puck in. Takes a sharp angle shot. Tarantella, it's kicked aside. And we'll get a stoppage here. One thing I wanted to add on top of that, the 10 players coming into tonight without a point, there's 5 players on top of that only have 1 point.
Yeah, and nobody's really come out and taken the reins outside of Cowell and Peltier, who
Peltier's not even in the game.
He's not even in the game tonight. Yeah, and again, we talked about McCoy with 3 goals, but
Gunner skates around, gets it out front, and the Voodoos couldn't bury that one. As now the puck goes down the ice to Callaway, plays it back up. Rotundo tries to will it through the neutral zone. Boys back to the near side for DeCallaway. DeCallaway walks in, leaves it for Cal. Cal with a shot, that one's blocked. And DeCallaway picks it up behind the net. No one was there, and the puck's going to go all the way down back to Voodoos territory with 2 minutes left on the clock. 5-3 Rapids lead, as now Gunner nearly overskated the puck and gave it away.
And this really does feel like a statement game, doesn't it, from the Rapids? Again, a team that has lost 29 times in the last 5 years to this Voodoos team.
Rotundo sharp angle shot turned aside by Tarantella. Another chance as Tarantella makes 2 big saves there, as he's now allowed only 2 goals on 46 shots. Oh my God.
Sorry, just a great song came on. I couldn't help it.
The moment that you're supposed to talk and you just immediately start rocking out to Shania
I'm
Twain.
sorry, but Tarantella has had a fantastic game. I would say even from the Voodoo side, though, I think Seibel's had a good game as well. Again, he's given up 4 goals, but it's hard to – I don't think a lot of those were his fault necessarily, where he might have liked to have some of the rebounds back, but I think overall he had a really solid game.
Puck on its edge, down the ice, and it just misses the net. So that'll go for icing against the against the Rapids. So we'll get a stoppage of play here with 1:32 left. 5-2 Rapids lead, and the Voodoos will have another offensive zone draw.
And going back to that upcoming schedule, it's something we haven't said in the last few years is when you look at that schedule and you see Blind River, Greater Sudbury, French River, you go, that's a tough stretch. Instead of it being like, oh, you get a bit of a reprieve. I'm very interested to see what the Rapids can do. Again, taking a point from Espanola after scoring 6 goals, taking 2 points here this evening.
Dubroy shovels it towards the net. Stopped by the side of the net. Now Russo kept it away from getting covered up. Bunch of Voodoos players down there by the goal line, battling for it. Russo comes away with it, sends it back around. Cowell gets to it, but it's knocked away by him. And now the Rapids had a chance, but Jackson Smith gets back first. Cowell with some speed through the neutral zone. Caden Cowell walks around, throws it out front, and is stopped by the Rapids. And it gets under Coleman's stick and goes the length of the ice. That won't go for icing, though. As with 50 seconds left on the clock, the Voodoos have to make something happen here soon.
Well, another pass that just doesn't find anyone. It's in no man's land.
Cal lost the puck. Coleman has to turn around and pick it back up. Now Coleman picks it back up. It's Schunborn with it. Schunborn walks in, takes a sharp angle shot. Tarantella with the save. As now back on to the far side. McKillop's chance. And he fanned on that one. 25 seconds left. Kept in by the Voodoos, though. And is sent over to the far side. Coleman with a shot. Tarantella makes the save. Lots of action here at the end, but we're coming towards the end now with 10 seconds left. And French River's going to skate away with 2 points out of Powassan. Something that hasn't been able to say, and the Voodoos score as that one floats over with 3.3 seconds. Schunborn gets his first goal here.
Well, a consolation goal at the very end. Definitely a weird one, as, again, it looked like it hit a body in front and floated over just the shoulder of Tarantella. Kind of unfortunate for him from a stats perspective, but, yeah, just kind of a consolation goal there, and it goes back to, like, if only he didn't give up that 4th goal, if only he didn't give up the empty net. a lot of if onlys in this game. Again, too little, too late.
As that'll do it here. 5-3 being the final after the Voodoos score in the last couple of seconds. And it's not something that you've been able to say a lot of before. French River skates into the Sportsplex and takes 2 points from the Voodoos. A scary injury scare at the beginning of the game. And now the Voodoos fall to 1-4 on this young season. And we'll look to turn things around here at the NOJHL Showcase this coming week. Ben, before we go, just your final thoughts here on this one.
Well, again, I really do think this is a statement game for the Rapids. They came in here and they were the better team for pretty much the whole night, which is not something that you're used to seeing. Like, coming into this game, you kind of think, okay, here's a way for the Voodoos to get back on track, get some points, and the Rapids just, now they skate away with 2 points. They've leapfrogged the Voodoos in the standings here early on, and they've only played 2 games. They've played 2 less games than the Voodoos have, just to put that into perspective. It is going to be a tough stretch for the Voodoos coming up. Again, Blind River, Greater Sudbury at the Showcase. Then they've got French River again on the road. Blind River, Greater Sudbury, Espanola all coming up. It's going to be a tough October for this team.
Very tough October indeed, and like we mentioned, they won't be at the Sportsplex very often, so you won't get to hear us talk about geography very often in the month of October. But if you are looking for your junior hockey fix in the North Bay area, tomorrow's game will see us covering the U18 Trappers as they take on the U16 Trappers in their first quote-unquote home game of the season from Memorial Gardens. It's been a little while since we've called a game out of Memorial Gardens, which is a little nice of a bit of a change to have that. But anyways, I digress. I won't get too deep into that subject. Voodoos falling 5-3 here on a Saturday night at the Powassan Sportsplex. For Ben Sargent, Mike Brown, happy birthday, Ben and Mike, and Harrison Clements and Cassie Millen, our intern. I'm Courtney Kenny, and as always, keep your eye on the front line.
Average Joe's Eatery and Patio Bar is North Bay's only year-round lakefront restaurant. On the shores of beautiful Trout Lake, we have been serving delicious food and stunning views since 1999. Indulge in one of our delicious menu items or simply sit with a cocktail in hand and watch the beauty of Trout Lake before your eyes. Check us out online at averagejoes.net or visit us in person at 3501 Trout Lake Road, North Bay.
The Goalie Resiliency Podcast, hosted by Chris Dawson and Dr. Rob Graham. With player interviews new and old, goalie insights, and everything you need to know about being a netminder, this is the podcast to check out. You can subscribe at youtube.com/goalie resiliency or instagram.com/goalie_resiliency.